and he had this one play where he was like, this is like just so not and I don't know what the guarantee is. No, we won't. The guarantee is
what their agent said and what they're actually doing.
But it is interesting how it
They just made the bottom.
That's what I'm saying. I think they want to keep both of them, but they had to get ahead of the market. So
because they wouldn't have been able to afford it at that point.
Yeah. But I also think that's why they did 3 years, is so that the guarantees and overall the cap hits weren't like crazy crippling, right? I kind of get the same thing.
Well, the Eagles front office is one of the best in the league. Although there's very high profile. They somehow avoid being having down the road every year.
Saints are 6 years ago. Boy, the Eagles were just doing 3 years.
Right.
I think that's
Yeah.
Hi, Phil.
Hey, Brandon.
We're live. I'm just doing a sound check as people come in. I hear you, so I assume that works. Hey, Adam.
Howdy.
Are you on mic now? So,
Who was that had that comment about what we look like? That was hilarious.
what would it look like? Oh, this one?
Yeah, Derek. Okay, yeah, that's funny shit.
I don't know who Cam is.
He's the bigger one of the gay couple.
Oh, yeah, okay. The bigger one or the skinnier one?
The bigger one.
Oh, because he's going based off of sound.
Yeah.
Because you look closer to the skinnier one.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, it's 6 o'clock. Clinton will jump in when we're ready. Let's get going.
Do it.
Do it. Hello and welcome to the Seahawkers podcast. We are live. It is draft night. Gentlemen, it has been 84 years since the Seahawks season ended. Just waiting on the draft to arrive. We've got Mr. Phil. We've got Adam. Adam, how you doing?
Oh, I'm hanging in, man. Exciting night. This is going to be a lot of fun. An interesting draft all the way around. This one actually intrigues me a little bit, which most of them don't. So I'm fired up to actually do this.
Phil, you're always intrigued about the draft. How are you feeling?
I'm excited. You know, it's like all of a sudden here it was. It just seemed like just a few days ago it was forever away, and then bam! Oh, here we go. We're moving toward it. It's a little different vibe because we don't have the number 5 pick and then another one. You know, so we're not like anticipating this early moment. What's going to happen? We're kind of going to settle in. I think we'll be shocked if the Seahawks are involved right off the top. I mean, I'm not saying it won't happen, but I think we'll be shocked if that happens. But I'm still stoked. I'm still stoked to see where these quarterbacks go. I'm still stoked to see what beef will keep falling to us in the middle of the draft. So what are you thinking right now, Brandon?
I am thinking that just popping into chat and seeing what people are talking about before we get going, like the idea of what people sound like versus what they look like, the idea of who has the best singing voice among the group of us. I feel like that's the kind of discourse that's going to help propel us through to the Seahawks pick to when they ultimately trade back, and then we have to buy time to when they actually pick again. But that's kind of what I'm here for. So I'm glad that people in chat are prepared.
Here's the thing. We all need to pick the closest time on the Seahawk time zone. What moment our first pick is going to happen, boys. We need to put it in there. We need to put a dinner on it for whenever we're together. What's the time that will be the Seahawk pick tonight? Who's going to get closest?
Ooh, and this is a good question for chat too, to see who gets closest in chat. And if you had when Clinton shows up on your bingo card as 3 minutes past the hour, here he is, Clinton Bonner joining us live.
Hey everybody. Hi guys. I got my neck pillow on because it's going to be a long night. So I'm ready for a little flight, and I'm going to sit back, relax, and watch this draft, guys. I am excited. And for those that are watching on YouTube, you can see my little moniker is Team Stick and Pick. Blue chips don't come around every single day, and we got a chance to get one. So let's go get one.
Let's see if the Seahawks decide to stick and pick. You know, we've got Ryan sticking with us. Our Ryan 911, our live executive producer, coming in with a $9.99 super chat. Thursday night live on draft day. Let's go.
You know, Clinton, to the stick and pick thing, I've been thinking a lot about it today as I was puttering around. And one of the things that kind of stuck with me was you'd probably trade back and try to do some things if you're a true rebuilding team, like a classic rebuilding team, let's say. Because I do think they're
Mhm.
rebuilding to a degree, right? And Mike McDonald's image and, changing some things around. Obviously, you're going to. You made a change. So if you're a classic rebuilding team, you're probably going to trade back and accumulate picks because you got tons of holes and that sort of thing, right? This
Sure.
roster, it doesn't have a ton of holes. I mean, it's got holes, and there's things that they're going to be trying to change personnel wise to fit Mike's vision. So to me, it makes a lot more sense to do something different than you've done in the past, which is always trading back and trading back and trading back. When at that time, the Seahawks had a roster that really didn't have much for holes, right? It was a pretty loaded roster throughout the Pete Carroll era for the most part. So I kind of think they are going to stick and pick. And I have a dream scenario for me. I'm curious what your guys' dream scenario is.
Nice. Well, I'll punt to others, since I was late, so others could chime in on what their dream scenario is. But I definitely have one, and it does involve sticking and picking. But how about you, Mr. Phil? You're smiling. You're coming out of your skin there. You got something to say?
Yeah, I don't know if I have a dream scenario. I have a lot of good ones. I'm just shocked. I thought I was the only one of the four of us that was on. The team doesn't have that many holes. We could actually be good this year. I thought everybody else was like, this team's so full of holes, it's Swiss cheese. So we're just gonna pick one and put our finger in there. Now Adam's saying this, and I'm like, I didn't know he thought that. I thought I was just arguing against that the last time we were on a show together. So here we go. Maybe the tide is turning in our opinion about this team. Maybe there is uh, a piece that is missing that could really propel this team. I'm not going to give my answer yet because I hadn't quite thought of that. I was so blown away by what you just said, Adam.
Well, to be fair, I do think that there's a lot that is going to change over the next 2 years as we transition into Mike's vision. I guess what I've been trying to say this offseason to this point is that, of course, it's a decent roster. There's always holes in every roster. I don't care which roster it is, but even though it's a decent roster, obviously it underachieved, and Mike's going to have different things that he wants from different players. And so I don't expect them to compete for playoff wins this year with a totally fresh coaching staff, with a bunch of guys as first timers in their positions. With all the other transitions that are going to go on over the next years, there's a lot that's going to be different, and it doesn't all just come together lickety split.
I think
Nate
we got
Schutz
some
in the chat. Hey, how you doing, Nate? That's a name we recognize.
Nice.
We recognize Amy Holmes is here. Carly Perkins. We've got Sojin, USMC Hawk, Jason Bonnert. Just recognizing folks. We've got Hector Mark. Feel like we have some Hector Mark.
Hector. It's been a bit.
Long time listener. And appreciate everybody hopping in. Like Nightbot says, hit that like button on your way in. We've got 106 folks in here already, and we are who knows how long before the Seahawks pick, because Clinton threw out the idea, or somebody threw out the idea.
Mr. Phil.
When will the Seahawks pick? It might have been Phil. It was one of you three. It wasn't me. And
it might have been Nightbot, Brandon. It could have been. He's very smart nowadays.
Yeah. We need to lock it in. We need to
AI
lock it in. The winner gets a dinner from the other guys, or the loser buys a dinner for the other three if we ever happen to be together, something like that.
We'll be together. Are we doing Price is Right rules like we should, like closest without going over? Is that
no nearest?
No?
Unless there's a tie, the under wins.
Only if you can guarantee that there's a baritone for the loser. That boom, boom, yeah.
I don't know if I have the fail horn on here.
That was great. That was a really good rendition too. Here comes
when you're trying to say if you pick 5 minutes.
I've got that one.
That's pretty good.
Subpar.
But Adam. I know which one Adam wants. He wants
good
the whole,
enough.
Yeah.
Clinton, you're trying to say if someone's 5 minutes over, they can't beat somebody that's an hour earlier.
Well, if we were playing by the real rules of life that are Price is Right rules, correct. That's exactly right. So, but whatever. This is your game. Phil back to his pain games. You make the rules. It's totally fine by me. I'll go first. We got Eminem on stage with Goodell. They're up there saying a few words. Okay, it's 16th pick. I'm team stick and pick, so I got to go with the math here. 160. Let's go with carry the
You would,
12.
you would have thought that by going first, you would have already done the math, and then you would have been able to dispute it out right away.
How long have you known me, Brandon?
Two
All right,
and a
let's go
half
with the
hours, right, Clinton? If it's
let-
everybody takes their max time.
let's go with 10:52.
Eastern.
That seems late. Geez, gonna take that long? That's too long. No, I'm wrong. 10:17.
You have to do it in Pacific time.
Okay, 7:17 Pacific time.
Okay,
Hawk time.
7:17 Pacific time. The
Going
youngest has
low.
gone first. I don't know who's the next youngest.
Oh,
I am
Be
not
me.
It's Adam. Okay.
I
Yeah.
am not the youngest. I
Oh
am the,
no,
I am the
Brandon by a
second-
little bit.
yeah, I'm younger than
Yeah,
you.
you're after. I was getting it backwards on how.
I thought
Aiden-
Clinton was younger than both of you. He's not?
No,
Yeah.
I just have this glowing skin and this neck pillow. No, I'm second
Yeah,
oldest
thanks a lot,
in
Phil.
this channel.
Okay.
Well, that ruins everything.
Oh, never mind. Well, that rule didn't work. I just threw that out there because I thought Clinton was the
All right.
youngest, and now I just learned something.
7:07.
All right.
You're getting squeezed.
6:45.
Ooh, he
Wow,
thinks
you
you're
guys
trading
think it's gonna
up.
fly.
Yeah.
So Brandon
Oh, you expecting that,
6:45, 7:07 for Adam, and 7:17 for Clinton. Okay. Well, hate to do this one to you, Clinton, but you know where I'm
Yeah.
going.
Don't give me a $1.
Yeah, $1 him. $1 him. Yeah.
7:18 is just
7:18.
hanging there. It's so hard not to, and I never get to
Yeah.
play. It's always you and Brandon or Adam that get to play. So I gotta win my chance here. I gotta go with 7:18. I'm really sorry, Clinton.
You don't
I
gotta
gotta
play
do it.
dirty. I mean, you're playing. You don't gotta play
Okay.
prison rules
Oh,
here, Phil.
I'll be fair. Let's go 7:27.
Okay, that's fair. We got a nice smattering. there.
Boo. I like getting $1. I wanted Clinton to get $1.
Yeah,
That
I
felt
like I like when Clinton gets $1 was the sentence you were after there.
Yeah.
All right. So are we gonna talk about our we talked about dream scenario too? We're gonna
Yeah.
hop into that. Is that part of the Gambling Goat, the man? I heard Gambling Goat's name on Nemhauser's pod just the other day.
Wait
So
a
I was like,
second. People who listen to our show listen to other Seahawks podcasts.
they
I
just
can't
might.
believe it.
And that-
They're
and that's-
poly podcasters.
Yeah, and that's a-okay, right? So we
Yeah.
love it. In fact, it's all good. So yeah, dream scenarios. So since I went first with the other thing, I'm going to defer. Mr. Phil, how about you? Dream scenario.
Dream scenario. Well, I've got a couple players here. If they're there, here, my dream scenario is that there's like 4 players I really want, and we're able to drop about 4 slots and still pick up, somewhere in the 3rd or 4th round. I would really relish that, and just drop 3 or 4 slots, get another 3rd. I think is what it would be if we dropped about 4, and then we still hit the trenches. I want the trenches to be improved, not on the outside as much. Like there's some awesome players that could be there on the outside, and I'd like Verse. If we get him, I'll be stoked. But I want to see the inside improved, and if we can do that and also add in a day 2 pick, that's my dream scenario. There's other scenarios I could see happening. I'll be stoked if a couple players are taking a 16. I'm fine, but that would be the ultimate for me.
Very cool.
Dream scenarios. There we go. They got Phil in there. Who wants to go next? Dream
Well-
scenario for our Seahawks.
Yeah. Dream scenario for me is they stick and pick at 16 and they select Byron Murphy, the defensive tackle out of Texas.
Love
I
it.
mean, the best defensive tackle in the entire draft, and you
Yeah.
get him at your spot. Hell yes, please. And the way he is described, they're like, well, he's a little short and a little shorter arms, but he's super powerful and super fast. I'm like, that sounds a lot like another terror that just left my life, and Aaron Donald. Yes, please. If I could get a B version of Aaron Donald with our first pick in the draft and start building the spine of the defense, like Mike likes to put it, I'd be stoked about that. And then in the later rounds, picking up Jordan Travis. Like those two things together would be my dream draft scenario. I love it.
Nice. And Adam, Emery Hunt he's pretty big into Jordan Travis as well. So you guys
Okay.
didn't see eye to eye on everything, but he was one of the dudes he had way farther up his board than most people, just being like, this guy can play. Straight up, can play. He also talked about a quarterback from the Akron Zips. I forget the guy's name, but if we go look up the Akron Zips QB, he said the guy didn't get a lot of chances, but like every time he did, he was like really, really good. And anyway, he was just like late, deep sleeper guy. that he was like, this guy can absolutely flat out ball, which is interesting. Not to say it's my dream scenario, just throwing out Emery Hunt there for the fun of it. All right, I'll go and then I'll toss it to you, Brandon. So I'm stick and pick, team stick and pick all day. And my dream scenario is Troy Fatano. Get the biggest thing done with the elite talent that I think is blue chip. And I'll say this, I'll give ourselves a little pat on the back. I finally heard other Seahawks pundits and podcasters saying what, frankly, I was saying about a month ago, that this draft is completely loaded with between probably 4 to 5 QBs in the top 15, 3 wide receivers, and Brock Bowers, that you have a unique opportunity at 16 to still get a legit blue chip.
Yeah,
it does not happen many years. It happened to break this year. So if Fontana was there, just get the freaking O-line better. We have a good offense, to Adam's point. That could be that keystone piece that unlocks our crappiness on third down. If we get third down right, this becomes an elite offense, and I am there for it. So that's my guy. But how about you, Brandon?
Yeah, dream scenario for me is for John Schneider to prove me wrong, because I think Fatano's probably going to be there. I think Murphy's probably going to be there. And my concern is that they're not going to build the trenches, that they're going to go, whether they go defensive back, which there could be some defensive backs that would be fine. They could go, we've talked about how they could go quarterback early, but there's probably some value late, like Adam said, with Jordan Travis.
Why do we want a quarterback besides late?
Can I tell you why?
Pause on that one. I want to get on that too. But
my dream scenario.
Yeah.
Like Fatano will be fine, but I don't think Schneider's going to do it. So I want to, for everybody in the chat, because we've heard the mock drafts and everybody's mock drafting offensive linemen to the Seahawks, because everybody knows we need it. I know we need interior offensive line. Adam knows we need interior offensive line. Clinton knows we need it. Amy and Chad
all he knows, my dog, he knows that right now.
Everybody knows we need interior offensive line. It's probably not going to be happening because John Schneider does not believe in interior offensive line until the 3rd round. He's never drafted interior O-line before the first or in the first 2 rounds. Everybody he's drafted has been at tackle that's moved inside. Yes. So I don't think it's going to happen. And
what position does Furtado play in college?
Left tackle. Yeah.
So cool. Totally good. Totally okay. It gets by your rule there, but I understand what you're saying.
But he's not drafting dudes who play tackle to, everybody that he's drafted has been to play tackle.
Yeah, I get it.
Worked out and they've moved him inside. If he's drafting for tackle, one, it either means Abe Lucas is more injured than we know about, or 2, he's breaking precedent.
If I could say one thing before we sled this to the quarterback discussion, because I think we got a lot of opinions on that. Both Adam and Clinton gave what's been for months has been my dream scenario. Let's get Murphy or let's get Fatano. Those are the 2 guys I go back and forth. Either one, I'm stoked. I might have even led toward one or the other over and over. And then all of a sudden, a couple weeks ago, I started getting greedy. And a lot of it has to do with how Clinton has described it. There's so many quarterbacks and what they're called, skill position players at the top of this draft. Maybe a little section of beef will get pushed here in the middle, and then we can squeeze away one more day 2 pick and still get the beef, because somebody's got to have their quarterback. So that had been my dream, but now I got even dreamier and greedier by still wanting that and another pick.
I'm with the snail here. I'm not counting out Abe yet, but Brandon, I don't have any faith of John Schneider breaking the trend here with his evaluation on guards. That's why I kind of changed my dream scenario later this week, because I was just like, he's probably not going to go for interior offensive line. I'm just going to be disappointed. Why not have a dream scenario that I'm excited about? And look, getting big guys up front who are talented, especially on a rookie deal, that's a huge, huge thing. And you look at the Ravens defense and with McDonald, and they had 2 monsters at nose tackles. He wants 330-pound plus dudes in the middle. And, you put Hankins and Murphy next to each other, and all of a sudden, maybe even Darrell Taylor could be good after that. because they're taking all the pressure from absorbing double teams and stuff.
I saw in the
You
chat.
fit right
that,
in with Ryan and saying,
I was gonna say
he's
jokes
here.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was either Sojin or someone said that Ryan's got all the jokes tonight, and Adam's got the jokes too. The thing with Byron Murphy is like, if we take him, then I'm all in. Then he's our guy, and away we go. I prefer Newton. I think the Illinois defense was just something different. I just think I don't know. I don't even know what it is about him. I just happen to think that Newton is going to be a more impactful DT, and I'd be pumped. He was the other dude, him, and then my wild card guys is, for me, I know this is like, well, we don't need it, but I'm just like, we just could throttle teams. If Brock Bowers is there, he's there at 16. I am 100% okay with being like, that's the most talented dude. I can't believe he's still here, and Grubb will figure it out. And I'm okay with that too, as a scenario. I don't think it puts our best team together from like a chess set. I just think I'd be okay with it. So it'd be fun. But yeah, Newton over Murphy for me. Any other opinions on the DTs on our esteemed panel?
Caleb Williams went.
Yes, he did.
Caleb Williams off the board, number one. Everybody so shocked. And you got to drag it out, though, to keep everybody on time as far as the program goes. Got to keep those commercial breaks so that way we can time it to when the Seahawks are on the clock, that ESPN can go to commercial, NFL Network, because they do it every time. So
it's 5:20. How did it take this long to get us to the Bear pick at 5:20?
Well, they had to do all the introductions, and
the Bears had to sit there all like statues and watch the screen, knowing exactly what they're going to do and take up all the time.
I mean, I think Amy said that they look terrible. That room was just like it was like watching the end of like the Running Man, like in some dystopian future with terrible lighting. It's like, what are you doing? What a
no energy at all.
I had a question for
the 9th pick here soon. Like, get back.
I know you got 2 top 10s and you're sitting there like statues. Ridiculous.
I had a question for you three. That the Caleb Williams stuff. Everybody was saying that I've heard in the national punditry is, oh, Chicago's such a great place for Caleb Williams to land. Do you guys feel like Chicago is set up well for a rookie QB to succeed right out of the gate after watching Justin Fields with this team for the past 3 years?
They have added a bit on the offensive line. They've added receivers. They traded Keenan Allen. Is that who they got?
Yeah, they got Keenan Allen.
Yeah, he's all right.
Fine.
He's still point of his career.
He's way better than all right. He's
not at this point in his career.
He's still a darn good quarterback. Okay, but he's also not their one. I mean, so just playing devil's advocate.
And DJ Moore's not a one. So what?
Yes, he is. He's not. He's a one from a productivity standpoint. In the same way, Amon-Ra St. Brown is a one. He's not an.
Amon-Ra is a way better player.
They're not too dissimilar.
Oh, there's 15 dudes I'd take over DJ Moore right now, easy.
Well,
the O-line's what's going to matter, though. That's going to determine how well a rookie quarterback plays. Is his protection way more than
wide receivers who can get open. We don't need to argue how good they are.
Cole Kmet's pretty good. He's pretty good. I think it's an okay scenario. I also think but I wouldn't, to your question, Adam. Is it like some dream scenario for Caleb? I don't think so. Like this has been a franchise that is a poverty franchise for a long time in the NFL. So until they can prove that turning it around, like the Lions turned around their franchise, which does not happen all the time, right? Most often it just, nope. The poverty franchises keep being dumb. So no, I don't think it's a dream scenario for Caleb because he's not going to like a sound platform like the Seahawks. Like that's a sound, actual, well-run platform of a team. No,
Steelers,
Steelers, Ravens.
Yeah,
those are
Rams. Let's say he had gone to the Rams. Let's say the Rams had the number 1 pick this year. That'd have been a way better
dream scenario.
Yeah. Vikings would be a better situation for him.
I'd say potentially better.
The defensive head coach and Eberflus, who I don't think he's an offensive guy.
And Shane Waldron.
Exactly. We all just lived through the Shane Waldron experience where the only thing that was consistent is it underachieved
in the league on 1st and 2nd down or something like that.
Yes.
And we'll still refuse to establish a run game. I don't know that I'm excited for Caleb there. Like I think he's a talented guy, but I think this is a tougher spot for him than a lot of the national punditry say.
I do have a important news break. I will say those draft hats are nice. You see the hat he has on right now?
Oh no, I missed it.
Those are nice. Usually, like very
And
often,
the draft hats.
usually draft hats are bad. Like
Yeah.
they're just like
Mhm.
overly busy, and then just put these on. They're still got like enough color pop. They're actually really nice. So whoever designed the draft hats this year, you
Big
finally
thumbs
got
up.
it right, or if it's your first time, good job.
Is Jaden going right here? Do you guys think?
Yes.
He should.
Yeah. He's the only guy I would trade the farm for. And I haven't ever thought that. I can't remember when I thought that. And Gino's one of my favorite players that we've had in a while. I really enjoy him, but I've been saying I would literally trade whatever it takes for Jaden, because I think, and I've been thinking this since I've watched him, I think he has the potential to be the best player in the National Football League in the next few years, possibly. That kind of ceiling, if he has a good floor as well, I wouldn't be mad if all of a sudden he got to 3 and we traded our first, and second if John knew he was that good. That's the one player. Anything else, I've never been into that kind of trade up, but that much of a difference maker, I wouldn't be mad.
Mhm. I do. I do like Nate Schuttz's call in the channel here. He's saying we were saying, is it going to be, will it be Daniels? He says, nope. It's Michael Pratt.
Yeah.
That would be a good surprise if
Yeah. It's like the Giants drafting Daniel Jones.
Yeah, something like that.
Jaden knows it's him. Look at him. He already knows.
I'm probably a little delayed. What are you guys watching? I'm watching NFL Network, not
Yes,
ESPN.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm on NFL Network too.
Gotcha.
They were showing Jaden. He looks totally like he's sure right now.
Yeah, I would be sure too.
The pick is
fun.
in, so if anybody is out, having picks tipped, they will know who is coming up next
Yeah.
with the next pick.
Nope. He was so mad that he had to share his draft visit with 21 other dudes that he's not going to the Commanders.
Yeah, that was kind of a silly rumor, right?
That was one of the dumber little consternations that came out of silly season.
Speaking of rumors, there was that tweet that we're going to get new uniforms tonight, and then it was erased, right? Has there been any more talk of that? My understanding is the idea was we were going to, whoever's announcing the pick, they're going to show the jersey, the new jersey with that pick. So that, first of all, that means not trading out of if that is legitimately your plan, then you're not trading out of the first round, are you?
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Who cares?
Good. They've
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
like that
Well, then
before
you-
that they moved back from.
But then you got to
You
wait
make the best
until
decision. You make the best
No.
decision. You don't do it for some publicity stunts. We're
Well,
sticking
then-
at 16.
well, I'm not saying it's
Because
We
the
have
new
to
jerseys are
build
dope.
well, you got, but if you're not sticking at 16, you could go back to 32.
Oh, yeah.
You're still in the first round. I'm just saying,
Yes.
like, does that? But what do you think? Are we seeing new jerseys
No.
tonight?
We just got a new jersey last
was-
year with the throwbacks.
That's okay. I was gonna say, I was like, dude, that's 10 years ago now, like 12 years
Yeah.
ago. Okay. Yeah. Well, the the Broncos' new
Jaden.
jerseys are horrible. Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
Eh,
Jaden
they're-
Daniels,
They're below
Ethan
average. They're not
They're not good.
horrible.
Their throwbacks are gorgeous, and the new ones
Yeah.
are just like so boring.
Yeah.
The safest design you could possibly do. But all right, Jaden. All right. Well, good for
Yeah,
them.
I like their old uniform better than this new iteration.
Oh yeah, me too.
Now, this is a good situation, I think, when you talk about personnel for Jaden.
Mm.
I think the Commanders, I mean, obviously the organization isn't stabilized yet, but as far as you got some weapons, you got a line that's not, well, it wasn't good with Howell, so the line's got some work to do.
a
So
little bit of work.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's I don't know.
He can move.
I'd rather go to the Commanders than the Bears. I don't know. I'm just down on that.
Hell yeah. I take Terry McLaurin and Dotson over DJ
Yeah.
Moore and Keenan Allen
Oh,
right
I don't know
now.
easily.
about that.
No,
Easily.
come on, Clinton.
Easily?
Easy. Yes.
That's the
Wait a second. You would take so Terry McLaurin's better than DJ Moore?
yes.
Yes.
In what way?
In
In what way is he not? In what way is he not?
I mean, okay, you guys could maybe look. I mean, sure. If you're saying stats don't mean anything, then sure.
Yeah.
Stats
Yeah.
don't mean
Stats don't mean jack. We've established this.
Terry McLaurin's a nice wide receiver, but he's been like an underperformer. Now the team's been
With
bad.
who throwing him the ball?
I get it. I said the team's been bad, but DJ Moore wasn't exactly sitting there with all-star, even Pro Bowl or Hall of Fame quarterbacks his entire career. He had crap, and he's been a big time producer. You guys are way too low on DJ Moore.
What do you love about DJ Moore? I mean, he's a good player.
He's
What do you
always
love about
open, catches everything, scores touchdowns, and he's consistent and he's healthy. None of those
Healthy.
things are
I'll give
true
him the
for
healthy thing
McLaurin.
over McLaurin.
McLaurin's been hurt.
Wasn't
He
even good
doesn't-
enough to stay on his original team.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
That's not a good sign. They got players that their team didn't want them.
No, I don't know.
It'll
about
be
that.
wide receiver evaluation night here on the Seahawks podcast as part of our draft evaluations. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, stick around. We'll be going through every team, and Clinton will be super high on the bad receivers, and we'll put him in his place. That's just
Oh
how
my
it's
gosh.
goes.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Bad
some level
receivers.
of reality that needs to be had
You,
here on this
you guys
show,
just
so,
said that
yeah.
DJ Moore and Keenan Allen, you would take McLaurin and who?
Dotson.
Oh, come on.
And De'Ami Brown.
Oh, guys, you guys are just so wrong with that one. That's such a bad take. My God.
I guess this is a fantasy. This is a fantasy experience, apparently.
It's
maybe.
nothing to do with these are just better football. Keenan Allen is a
Although,
borderline
didn't
Hall of
Sam Howell
Famer.
throw for, like, a
Absolutely. I'm
bazillion
not saying Keenan Allen of 5 years ago. Keenan Allen of 5 years ago is easily the best receiver of that group. Not even close. You're talking about injuries and staying
He's
healthy,
still
and we're
good.
talking about Keenan Allen.
He's
I was
still-
trying to move on from the wide receiver discussion, but here we go. We slipped back to it.
Well, we got time, you know.
Here we go.
Who are the Pats going to take? Are they going to trade down? Or are they going to go for it?
Mm.
They
JJ?
have to
I've
go
been
for it.
saying Drake May to the Pats ever since a month ago. So I think
You like
that-
May over JJ?
for the Patriots. I just think that they'll take a guy that seems the safest, and May to me is that guy.
Interesting. I find JJ to be more the safest and May to have some issues, but also a higher upside than JJ.
I think, and I think Drake May is Daniel Jones to me, and
It could be.
and that's what worries me about him. Which,
But could
I
also
can
be
see
Josh
us
Allen light.
looking at that mold and saying, "Ooh, I can really build a great quarterback out of all the tools that this guy has." And so that's what I look at when I see him.
He's a
He
playmaker.
could
under
also be
duress.
Josh Allen light, man.
Maybe.
Their tape is so completely opposite JJ and May. May's making all these plays when he's just about getting destroyed. JJ's like no cares in the world because his team's so awesome that they barely put him in challenging situations and he just makes the right play over and over. So very, very different dudes for sure when you watch their game.
Mhm.
I like
Mhm.
JJ on third down, man. He is a clutchy
Yes.
guy.
That is true.
JJ
And,
would be my pick if I were the team in position to take a quarterback right now.
Yeah.
At 3,
Okay, me too.
Yeah,
mine would
Yeah,
be
me
Bo
too.
Nix. Just saying.
I know.
Yeah.
And it would have been yours for number 2 after Jaden came off the board number 1.
Pick is in.
okay, let's see. Let's see how it goes.
I'm afraid for whoever they get because it's not a great situation right now.
At least the Patriots, war room is properly lit. Geez, people up and moving and not just standing there like back to the poverty bears.
Do you think
showing
there'd
May,
be
he
any
looks
kind of
mad.
consideration of McCarthy being a Michigan guy and having to follow Brady? Like that, there would be
Mm.
a lot of that extra pressure put on him.
May
or-
looks mad and upset.
I don't know, Brandon. I'm not sure. He might, McCarthy seems to be the kind that might, absorb that and take it in, right, for what it's worth. So we shall see. Anybody know what's what yet?
No.
No, but
Yeah,
I
we
just
got-
saw May looking like he was trying to
Rod
hold back
talking to the-
anger.
podium right now.
Yeah, Pats don't have a strong squad. That's true, Axel.
On offense, it's like as bad as it
Drake
gets.
May,
Well,
dude.
Drake May. Okay.
He was mad because he knew that he was going to a team that really needs a
That's
lot of
what
help.
it is.
Yeah.
That's why he's
I
up
don't have an offensive line. I don't have wide receivers.
Let's
Uh,
see.
I don't even have Bill
Running
Belichick anymore.
Right?
I've got a linebacker for a head coach.
back, no. Okay, now he was just tricking everybody, I guess. I don't know.
I hope they start Jacoby Brissett the entire year.
That'd be wiser, I think. That's a good call. I don't know if it'll be the whole year though.
I hope it is.
I don't know if picking in the top 3, there's going to be so much pressure. Dude, they have Brissett too?
Yeah, they brought Brissett back.
That's solid.
It looks like he's ready to walk up and sing with a boy band right now. Like the way he's
No.
coming.
That's funny, Phil. When I was watching him talk earlier, like just the way like his face moves and everything, it's like he looks like Jason Bateman to me.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got a little Bateman to him. I could see that.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that. I don't know how I feel about him. How about this? How do you guys feel about him rocking his Carolina blue tie? I mean, that's what he's doing, right?
Sure.
If I'm, and I get it, but if I'm, I don't know, like I kind of want my guys looking forward. It's like you got your lineage and all that jazz, but do you have to cling on to your Tar
Guess
Heel
the
days?
team that you're going to be on and pick the right color for them to give you proper props.
You could have
Wouldn't
like a
you want
tie
him
that-
to give respect to the people that put him in this position and gave him an
Yeah, that's
opportunity.
great.
Like, come
love
on,
it.
Clinton, it's classy.
It's time to move on, boys.
Now
Those
that he's been
jerseys are
picked, you're
slick.
right. Yeah, no more baby blue ties.
This is the last time.
No more.
Last
No
time
more.
baby blue.
No
So
more.
some of these plays are awesome, but you know what I think is really dumb when a quarterback gets picked and then they show him throwing passes to guys that are wide open with a quarter of the field and he just throws it into the farmer's field and the receivers there hanging out, chilling, catching the ball and walking in. That's not a quarterback highlight. That's a pass that any of us could throw. Well,
That's
I can't throw it
college.
that far, but
That's college football, man. That is college football. I know there's people that are just diehard who love it, who live and breathe it.
Yeah.
And besides like putting like $5 on a rando game for the sake of putting $5 on it on a gambling app, God, I find it hard to watch.
he
I
has
don't-
some cool
Impossible.
plays. He has some cool plays, but those are annoying.
Oh no, make
Yeah,
it. I
Any
think
highlight video is annoying when they show things that aren't highlights that as part of the highlight videos.
Yeah,
Hey,
like the quarterback throws the ball deep, it gets tipped and into the receiver's arms, and they score.
Right.
And they're like, "What a throw!" And that's why the college game is tough for me. Is when you're sitting there and you're watching the tape, the U tape, and all that, going back through it, and
U-tape.
you're hearing the announcers like, "Dude hits a dude who's wide open by 15 yards, and it happens to be in stride for the first time
Right.
all game." Oh, what a throw from blah 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 blah! And you're like, dude, like my grandmother should be able to make that throw. Like
Mhm.
it's annoying because they get so fired up over such mediocre football.
The running back highlights where the dude is, I mean, you could drive a bus through the hole and he just marches up through the hole, runs into the safety and falls down, and they're using that for running back highlight. Or, oh, look at this safety drafted. And then the highlight play is him standing back there and the quarterback throws the ball and it lands right in his lap and he catches it. That's not a highlight. It's not a great play. It's a pedestrian.
It's the same problem with
play.
defensive guys. Like all their highlights are dude coming off the edge, unblocked, and taking down the
Spoon
quarterback.
Spoon's highlights were highlights, right?
Yeah,
No,
that's
Spoon,
true.
Spoon special. Spoon is special. Yeah. All right. So our Cardinals, gosh, I should wash my mouth out with soap, but the Cardinals in our division, a team we care a little bit about. What do you guys want them to do? Do you want them to trade back and get picks? Do you want them to just take
I don't want to go
Marvin
against
Harrison?
Harrison forever. I'm really scared of Harrison, so I'd like him to not get him.
I would like Monty Austinfort to give Steve Keim a call and take whatever advice he gives him.
I like that. How about you, Brandon? Would you prefer they take MJH or no MHJ?
Prefer
That's
that
hard to say.
they trade back just because I think they do have. I mean, it was nice not having Larry Fitzgerald on the Cardinals here for the last few years.
Yeah.
And I feel like, yeah, if they go and get Marvin Harrison Jr., then they're going to have that next guy. So
Forever and ever.
Yeah, but think about the Spoon
Maybe.
Marvin Harrison Jr. matchups for the next 10 years. Those are going to be exciting.
Yeah. That's a positive way of looking at it since I'm already sad thinking about it.
Yeah.
If we didn't have Spoon, I'd probably be a little sadder about it. But
Nah,
yeah.
You saw
Big-
Spoon
big-
get CD Lamb, and that didn't go all that well. So
No, that doesn't go this way.
yeah, as he's a rookie and CD Ram is in his
Yeah.
prime. Like,
Yeah,
give this
that's
5
different.
years.
yeah,
Well, I like big play Trey Brown to cover Marvin Harrison Jr. just fine, boys. He's sticky.
Pick
He's
is in.
sticky. Oh boy! Wow.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what? At least we could
There's
say
no
to the-
way this isn't Harrison. There's no way.
You would think, but at least we could say to the Cardinals, thank you
I'm
for not.
pretty sure I
taking-
saw just even from the TV copy that Harrison was already standing up and walking. So
To me,
That's
this is
funny.
the most obvious pick since the Caleb one, but not even up. That was obvious because we knew it was going to happen. This one, I also agree with it, and everybody knows it, right?
Mhm. I mean, yeah. I mean,
Harrison Jr.
there-
too.
there are the people. Is it gone? Yeah. Oh, there we go. Okay. Well, that makes
Okay.
sense.
So can I do the thing where I congratulate him real quick because he was a college kid and that's nice, but now he's a professional. He plays for the shithead Cardinals and I can crap all over him. Congratulations to Marvin Harrison Jr. He had an outstanding college career. You know, obviously this has to be a dream come true, following in his dad's footsteps. But now he's an Arizona shithead Cardinal, and it's going to be so fun to watch all the behavioral issues that we have seen throughout this offseason with the diva mentality of not having to show up for the combine or have a pro day or work out for anybody. Him and Kyler Murray are going to be the biggest diva pair of the entire NFL and be a big flop. I can't wait for it.
The only thing that would make it better, it would be if Kingsbury was still there and they would just throw just the horizontal game and just completely waste them, for 2 years. That would be better. I happen to actually think their current coach has the team. I don't know if they're like going the right way, but I know they actually played pretty darn hard last year. They played well for the talent they had out there, which was not a good roster. They hung in a lot of games and beat some teams actually. So they're going in a good direction, which don't love saying, but that's the truth.
Well, they'd be going in a good direction if they had gotten rid of Kyler this offseason and drafted a quarterback here. I
hear you. He could still, I know you were saying he's bottom third, and he might be, Adam. On the last pod, you talked about him being bottom third, and he very well might be. You start counting dudes, and it's like, well, Derek Carr or Kyler Murray.
It sneaks up on you fast, bottom third.
It does. I agree. It does. But he's still, when healthy, he's still an okay quarterback. He's still even if he is like 18th best, 19th best, he could pitch into 15th best sometimes. He's okay, but that's all. That's really all he is, in my opinion. We've also
had a dumpster fire. I
know.
Bottom third. Yeah,
I know you did. I know. I get what you're saying, and we've actually handled him really well throughout the years.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've played him very, very well. He's given other teams nightmares, and we've kind of just bottled him up.
So is this where the Vikings trade up? That's the big talk, right?
It could be where the Vikings trade up. We'll have to see. We've got Samuel Gelber coming in with a $12 super chat. Hey, Marvin Harrison Jr., do the reverse Edgerrin James.
I like that.
Yeah.
Nice, Sam. That's smart of you. I understand that the Chargers are supposed to trade out here. I get that. They're supposed to.
They're going to get paid in picks here.
Sure. I mean, you also got Harbaugh. Would it shock anybody if he just goes, nope, we're taking alt. Like we're taking the biggest, baddest lineman there is, and we're going to change the team. It wouldn't shock me if they stick and just take Joe Alt. Just
all right. Well, what if they do this, Clinton? There was a commenter in one of the QB videos, and they were calling their shot early because I think they just wanted to have some fun if it happened to work out. But he's like, why wouldn't Jim Harbaugh just draft JJ here because he loves him so much? Best quarterback in this draft, according to Jim, and then trade Herbert for a boatload of
well, you could trade. I mean, you could literally trade. I mean, just to play it out for fun, you could trade Herbert right to the Giants or Broncos or Saints.
They wouldn't trade him to the Broncos
or Viking. Well, or Vikings, right? I mean, you could do that. That'd be kind of,
wow.
You can't trade Herbert. I don't think he's a top 5 quarterback. I don't think JJ McCarthy's ever going to be a top 5 quarterback.
I was playing along. It's fun though. It's fun.
It was a fun thought.
But then actually do it. Put your draft picks where your mouth is.
Right. 3 number ones.
Number one overall.
3 number ones for Herbert. I still don't know if he can do that. I think that's.
Well, the thing is, if it doesn't work out, and the chances are, then you're just, you've shot your career, and that's it. You're not getting hired again. However, I'm not sure that Harbaugh particularly cares. This might be his last go around.
So were you guys worried at all about the report of the Rams wanting to trade up?
Yes.
I was also, especially thinking, when Adam threw out his dream scenario of wanting Murphy, I was thinking, man, if the Rams are trading up, are they doing it to take interior defensive line with Aaron Donald retiring?
That would make me so angry.
That might be early.
But it makes sense, Brandon, right? I mean, how do you attempt to fill that? They drafted really well last year, and the dudes who played around Aaron Donald were phenomenal last year. They were really, really good. However, what's the delta like when the big vacuum happens when he's not there? Now, they drafted really well. Their entire draft was insane. and it's just going to be like, let's see, can those dudes? I believe they had two rookies put up 8 and 9 sacks respectively. Okay, does that happen, or is there a huge dip because the big man who was getting double teams the entire game is now gone? So it's an interesting thought, Brandon. To be like, would they trade up and try to get Newton, or I guess Murphy? Yeah.
The
And-
Chargers are trading down. There's so many great tackles. They're going to get a tackle and they're going to get more picks.
Oh, look at this. Josh DeHuman off the top rope saying that they're sticking and picking.
They are?
Well, that's what he says per Ian. I'm
Everyone's
assuming
been following
Rappaport.
the news pretty closely here.
Okay,
Go
well,
ahead.
And they're gonna pick Brock Bowers.
it's going to be neighbor.
That would not shock me, actually.
No, I wouldn't be shocked.
Harbaugh and
Alt,
tight ends,
probably.
man.
It's
Yeah,
probably
they-
Alton
They should either take Alt or Brock Bowers
or
Well,
Bowers.
they could take one of the top receivers off the
or
board.
Neighbors.
Harbaugh
or-
doesn't care about receivers.
We'll see. These are some good ones, but interesting.
He makes them look good when they go to other teams and they're not. So he's pretty skilled with that with his receivers.
Now, I will say the impact of the Seahawks, I don't think is a good thing because this is another player off the board that's not a quarterback.
Yeah,
And I don't
It's
think
a
that's
skill
good.
Position player. I don't.
but it was
think
just
access too much.
it was just going to be the Vikings popping up anyway. So that they still would have been a quarterback choice.
But they said Broncos. They said the Giants might even consider just going from 6 to 5 just to get the dude they want. So
Yeah.
you know,
So that
I
doesn't
don't-
change anything for us for the math, right?
Well, we'll see what they take. That's the part.
We aren't taking offensive line anyway. If they take offensive line, it's not gonna impact us. So I was
Okay.
seeing that there was a projection that 10 offensive linemen could go in the first round of the draft, though.
Nuts.
Wow.
That's a big
That's
number.
Yeah, a lot
Mhm.
of people have a bunch of them going.
Yeah.
So
Mhm,
what's this
mhm.
pick? Is it? Are the Giants going quarterback then?
I don't know. My dad wants Neighbors. He's a Giants fan. So
Well, I
Shit.
guess he might be. Is he a soccer fan also? Does he just enjoy watching dudes run around without a ball? Because that's what's going to happen to Neighbors without a quarterback there.
Oh, love it. No, for the record, no, he does not like soccer. Never been into it.
The Giants haven't had a stud receiver in a while, so I could see them thirsting for neighbors.
Since
Yeah.
Beckham.
I mean, they
well.
had Odell Beckham Jr., but
But that's a
When
while
was
ago
that?
now.
it was a little bit ago.
I heard
Plaxico
Rich
Burress.
Eisen say
Plaxico
how much are the Giants chosen for another diva receiver from LSU to come to their team?
Hmm.
Like,
Might be a good point there. If you're looking for the non-diva receiver, I think you go with the Dunze.
Yeah, Romans. I mean, they're all good. Those three guys are good.
Neighbors is crazy good. Like on a pretty much every play, whether he's catching it or not, he's pretty awesome. It's fun to watch the receivers. I enjoy watching receivers play, and that's where there's a lot of good defensive backs down there in the SEC, and he little brothers them with moves sometimes, big brothers them. Yeah,
Mhm.
Daniel Jeremiah actually had a Dunze ranked ahead of Neighbors on his draft board.
he's good. He's schemed
Outrageous.
open so much. He's schemed open so much. It's hard for me to read Odunze.
Yeah. All right, the pick has been in for a while now, Chargers. Come on.
well, apparently
Let's
Goodell
move it.
had back surgery, so he's not moving real quick.
He is kind of moving pretty slow. Did
that-
he already have the tie off, or did he start that way?
The tie's
know.
already off.
Do
Wow.
lizards wear ties?
Are they doing the boo
He's
thing? I haven't turned
buttons
the sound
down
on more.
too from where the tie would be. So
That's funny. Hmm.
there
There's
we
the
go.
boot.
Joe Alt to the Chargers.
Oh wow! See, like
Go
look at that.
offensive line.
See, guys,
Yeah.
you should listen to me.
So this is fairly chalky, huh?
Yeah.
Well, not really, because this was supposed. I mean, I would say not specifically, because everybody was like they're gonna trade this pick.
Yeah,
Like, I think the
that
more
would've
chalk
been
thing
smart.
would be the trade.
Yeah.
So, but if you listen to Harbaugh talk, he goes, "Well, how do you build a team?" And he goes on a 3-minute tirade that offensive line's the only position that they're their own thing, but they affect everybody. That's the only
Yeah.
thing. He went on like a 3-minute, just like 2 weeks ago. And so
Genius.
people,
Have to- I hate
people
to say
open
it.
their. Oh, he knows how to build a team. So Yeah.
It
He's a good-
annoys
he's a
me
good-
that he's smart about football sometimes.
He's a good coach.
Well, he's not in our division now, so
I know.
That's true.
you can kind of, I don't know. I've never had a problem with the Chargers
Exactly. That's the
No,
other thing,
never.
too.
because they're never good enough to give Seattle problems.
I
Not
agree.
really, just the Fouts era, right?
So when they show offensive linemen, it's actual highlights of them dominating somebody. It's like
Yeah.
the opposite. The skill positions is free ball, but offensive linemen, it's awesome plays.
How would you show an offensive line highlight of them doing like making a
Anything
play?
else?
I would say like a guy rushes in and the guard like hits him and knocks him almost off his feet. Then you come in and knock him over. Like it'd be something like that. You get
can't
credit
even
for the
get pancakes
pancake,
with
but
that, so
yeah,
yeah.
you just were holding the plate, you know.
Yeah.
Dude, this guy's almost
These are highlights.
6'9". He's nearly 6'9". That's too much.
New York Giants. and
He's a
Tennessee
large
team
human
up.
being.
Yeah.
Oh man, he
Do we
is.
think wide receiver of the Giants makes a lot of sense?
Yeah.
This
One
weekend.
of
Quarterback. It's got to be quarterback. What are you doing?
Well,
Daniel Jones and Drew Lock? What are we doing?
Well, I hear you. And they paid Daniel Jones and they got Drew Lock. You know, it's like maybe they're just like, that's it for the year. And if we stink again,
They could
be
get
back
out
in
of the Daniel
Then
Jones.
they won't have jobs.
we'll be back in the top 5. And
Dable and whoever the GM is going to be gone.
I don't think that roster is nearly good enough to be like QB. I don't know. I don't know. I'm on the fence on that one. If I'm a Giants fan, which I'm not, I think I'd rather see them build around and then figure out quarterback later. They're not good. They're not a good team.
So how many other Seahawks fans had pancakes for breakfast? I want to know because if you're
Ah.
going based off of Draft Day, the movie,
Oh,
you have
right.
to eat pancakes in honor of our what is it, the pseudo Seahawks GM?
Yeah. I did not.
No, I didn't either.
What
Yeah,
I had
that's
eggs.
chicken
I
crispy.
feel like if I would have been thinking ahead,
Yeah.
I really should have.
Wait,
He
Adam, what'd you
also
have?
is the same actor that says, "I'd like to show you my ranch."
Wait, did Adam, that's funny. Adam, did you say chicken crispitos?
Yeah, that's what I had for breakfast this morning.
What does
From the
that mean?
hot
What-
case at the grocery store. On my way in.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Is that one of like the rollers?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was not a good breakfast.
Well, you know, it was sustenance, right?
It was. Yeah.
It was caloric intake when you needed it. I had eggs, guys. I had eggs, 3 eggs with cheddar cheese and hot sauce. How was it? It was yummy. Say that much.
Not pancakes. Pick is in for the Giants.
Wowzers.
Yeah.
Wowzers.
That's giving Brandon a chance to keep moving quick like this.
I'm going to keep saying wowzers until the pick is announced.
No, Brandon is not
Wowzers?
winning this, even as fast as they're going now. Because
Wow,
the start
yeah,
was so late.
wow. Wowzers. Yeah.
I was just trying to $1 everybody before preemptively.
Let's see.
Yeah, Vikings fans will get hyped. Broncos fans will get hyped.
You know?
That's true.
Yeah,
They
very
need-
much so.
Yeah, everybody in Denver has full pucker right now because if
Yeah,
they don't
right,
come
right.
out with a quarterback of this draft, like it's bad news bears.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee
not-
could trade, right? Tennessee's a good trade slot.
Well, at this point, because they were the ones who were supposed to get alt if the Chargers did something. So
Uh-huh.
they're now that they're like, ooh, we could just still get an awesome dude and go back to like 11. They
Yeah.
should. They need picks, and 11 you're still getting blue chips.
yeah, there's so many blue chip players still going to be there for him, and they get just a bank load from the Vikes.
Mhm.
2 first rounders, right? Wouldn't they get 2 first rounders at least for that move?
I mean, I think so. You move it up for a quarterback, so that's
11 and 23, and maybe something else.
oh, there you go,
At
Dad.
least it's a big enough city to fit that neck thing in the
Happy
city.
draft day, Clinton's dad.
That's it, Bruce.
Hey,
Bruce,
Going to
big
be-
Bruce Bonner, the biggest B
Dude.
as we call him.
Your dad got his guy.
There you
double
go.
B's.
That's
I hope neighbors likes running wind sprints for no reason.
He's
You don't
good.
think Daniel Jones could get better at those quick screens.
No, I don't. Ever.
Drew Lock is going to beat him out in the preseason anyway. What are we talking about here?
I hope
Yeah.
so.
Well, I don't even think Jones is going to be ready for the preseason.
Oh, that's true. He's banged up too. So the
Yeah.
hose,
He's
the
got to
hose,
beat out Cutlets.
Yeah, that's not that hard. The hose knows. The hose
The
will do
Titans
it.
got to trade this. To me, it's nuts not to trade this with all these players still there. If someone's wanting a quarterback,
They might want Roma Dunze. They might be
They
like, we want to, they don't have a great wide receiving core at
That's
all, and they have a young quarterback. So
It's
get
gonna
a
be
top guy
interesting.
like him.
They're kind of like the Seahawks this year, right? A lot of turnover. Coach is gone.
Yeah.
What's
call.
their vision going forward? You don't know.
nope. I agree. Still
Not
love
that
this
I
draft.
ever cared about the Titans, anyways. But
The only thing I care about the Titans is eventually getting to Nashville to see a game, and we got robbed of that last year because was that the Christmas Eve game, right? I was like, come on, guys.
Yeah,
That was
that's
like the one good road trip on the schedule. And it was like Christmas Eve. I'm like,
So what singer are you going to go see if you're in Nashville, Clinton?
I don't know. I'm not a country person. So
That'd be more Adams.
can all be winners.
country is as good as the Chicago Bears franchise. Poverty, garbage. I love
those singers
folk.
come from poverty or garbage. And sing about it. You're right.
Listen, I love
It's
folk.
dirtbag music.
I kind of like outlaw country on the skirts of country. I like outlaw country, and I like.
Oh, that's the country I'm talking about. If we're
And I
talking
like-
about mainstream pop country, that stuff is utter trash. You're right.
And I like folk, like Tyler Childers, right? That's how you say his
Yeah,
name? Like
no,
that
we're
kind of
talking
stuff.
the
Like,
same stuff. Yeah,
because
Folk
that's not
music. There we go.
that folk I really dig. I think that's great stuff.
Yeah,
And then when
Americana. Yeah.
yeah. And then when it gets super twangy, it just loses me. I'm like, nope, no, not my thing. So
When they start talk rapping, that's when they lose it for me.
Country
That's
music.
terrible country. Country with rap is like the worst thing someone could have ever come up with.
that's so
The only blend of that sort of thing I've ever heard was bluegrass and rap mixed together. They called it gangsta grass. It was actually quite amazing.
yeah.
There's actually
A boy named Sue kind of works, right?
Yeah. There's a Montana band that
Mm.
does kind of something similar to that.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of rap and a little bit of country.
See, this is how boring the Titans are as a franchise. Like, we have devolved completely away from the draft. Nobody cares.
We're
They haven't
talking
mattered since the Miracle, the Motor City Miracle, or whatever. That's the
It's
last time they mattered.
appropriate because it's Tennessee. We got on.
You mean
them.
the Ralph Wilson backstabbing that game when they stabbed Doug Flutie directly in the back? It changed my fandom forever.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's the game, dude.
I wouldn't know. I've just been a Seahawks fan, so I don't know.
The worst knife you in the knife you in the heart was when they wore the Houston Oiler
the
throwback
throwbacks?
jerseys after they stole their team.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Wearing the throwbacks against the Texans. Yeah,
That's cool
They'd be like the Thunder wearing like Sonics jerseys and doing
Yeah.
throwback.
for the new
Yeah.
Seattle expansion team. Yeah,
You don't
It's
do
pretty
that.
I was
Yeah,
hoping
that-
for a trade or something here in the top 6 just to make things a little bit spicy. But
It's a pick
Yeah.
is in
No,
though.
Titans pick is
Here's
Pick,
the
pick is in
Rome.
again. Jeez
We're going.
Louise. I'm thinking they're going to take Rome. Is my guess.
They're going
at
to
this point.
Rome. Tennessee's going to Rome.
For sure. I think they might. At
What
this
else?
point.
Minnesota. This works out so nicely for them.
Mm-hmm.
God, if
They get their pick of the next quarterback, whoever
they
it
won't
is.
have to trade. They can
Get to keep
their
20.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Kind of don't
because
like that because they could be good if the quarterback pick works out.
Oh,
You
they're
think
going to
Atlanta will
commercial. The
consider
pick is in when they
quarterback?
went to commercial.
No,
Well, again, it's the
NFL Network.
Titans.
NFL Network is still holding strong. Oh no, that's what. Oh nope, I'm just behind you.
Giving spoilers to Clinton on the commercial.
Yep.
Is
How
there
far
any chance
behind?
Atlanta considers quarterback?
I don't think they will with Cousins. I think that they feel. I'm thinking that with Cousins as quarterback, they're thinking 3 years before they probably need to take one. Even though they could probably go ahead and do it.
It's about
I
2
agree with
years too
Look,
late.
look how long they held on to Matt Ryan when he
He's
was
Russell's
washed.
age.
About
they're
5
like,
years too late.
Yeah.
But what do we wait? But again, do we think that Kirk Cousins is not a slightly above average NFL quarterback who can play ball. Like,
Yeah, he's good.
Yes.
Matt Ryan for the last 5 years of his career.
he's like top 12 to 15 QB and sometimes pitches top 10, right? Kirk Cousins, like that's
Coming
about
off an
his-
Achilles, you bet.
All right,
And
well,
getting
you know,
older, and
I hear all
Yeah.
that, but it's a quarterback. Like they can
He's
play
like with
until they're-
Shanahan, like with Ryan. If they have Shanahan, they can be great, right? But
Look, I'm
Ryan
still on
looked great
team.
with Shanahan. Cousins looked great with Shanahan.
Yeah, I'm on
And
team.
we hated the Cards pick.
Yeah,
yeah,
Cards
and it wouldn't have
pick-
mattered what it was, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Cards
We
pick
would have
kick
found a way
rocks.
to crap on it either way. But yeah, Marvin Harrison, they got the top wide receiver. We don't want the next Larry Fitzgerald in Arizona.
No,
Yeah,
I guess-
what I've been
those guys.
bemoaning all off season was going to happen.
I guess, Clinton, to kind of get to the point of it for me with the Cousins thing and drafting a quarterback is I really believe that you should sit these guys a year or two. Like,
Right.
for the clock has gotten so accelerated on these guys. That's the reason why we have so many freaking busts. So
I agree-
pick the
I agree with
dude,
that.
let him sit behind a real professional in Cousins, because you're right. He is a good professional quarterback, but like start the clock, you know?
I agree with your analysis there.
I would
It just was is one of those, you know, old man waves a cloud things. Just was not the way it was when we were younger. It was like, okay, you take your QB and they wait. And
Well,
you know, Brandon, you and I talked about that. Really, football is the only sport that this happens in. Large teams like this, like doesn't happen in hockey very rarely. Doesn't happen in baseball. You got to make you very rarely do you get the A-Rod or the J-Rod scenario. Most often, even your best dudes have got to go through the minor leagues, and they get
But they're
time
drafted
to mature
young.
their game.
right?
Not
They're
really.
drafted
I mean,
young.
And
I mean,
base-
In
sometimes.
basketball, rookies are stars,
they-
the big ones.
Well, yeah, basketball is different because you got 5 people, and the game can change so quickly with 1 or 2 stars, and the whole dynamic changes. You can be a playoff team with one dude, or one lady, right? So it's just a different game.
For me, I would say
Titans
the
pick
Jets.
coming up,
The
and
Jets should take a quarterback more than I would say the Falcons should take a quarterback, because Rodgers is old.
that's true.
Basically the same argument. And,
Yeah.
you know, Clinton, you kind of mentioned like the idea of, well, it's not the old way of doing it with the quarterbacks. And like, I don't want to come across as being like stuck in that old way. It's more that I have now observed the new way of doing it. And while there's a couple dudes who make it happen, you know, like Herbert or CJ Stroud, there's just too many that can't make that happen. Like the process isn't working. That's the data.
I agree.
That's a great point.
I was listening to I don't know, some pod the other day. They were talking about there's so many injuries in baseball with pitching arms with the UCL, the Tommy John surgery. It's insane. So you got like high schoolers now opting into Tommy John so they can recover by the time they go to college. It's a little bit perverse. But the very, very interesting part was that the doctor talking said that the UCL in the human body does not mature until age 26. It is not done, which is weird because other things are long done. But the UCL is mature at 26 years old, and being like, hey, you got 18-year-olds throwing 95 miles an hour, and it's not good. It's just interesting. So, but
All
it's
right. Well, during the Titans pick, we've talked music, we've talked baseball,
Yeah.
and JC Latham.
Okay.
And Tommy John's.
now-
By the way, Clinton, there wasn't a bone in my body that was mature at 26. There was nothing about me that was mature.
I love it. I love it. All right, I'm not mad about this pick at all. I mean, this is like a dude that you figured he'd be off the board with Alt anyway, right? Like he was not meant to be there, and that's fine. Just kind of like check the box that he was going to be gone anyway.
We might just have our first draft shakeup about
No
to
trades.
happen here.
What you
I
feeling?
cannot believe it's gone this far with no trades. I did not foresee that. But
Well, I don't think this is a trade. I think it's Atlanta picking after the Titans here.
Are they
But I
taking
think
Brock
I think
Bowers?
they go quarterback.
Oh,
If this rumor that I'm seeing showing up
where are you seeing this?
pass,
is it JJ?
Is it on Twitter?
it's
I know the punchline.
Yeah.
Wait, pick is in. So Brandon, you're
No,
holding your
they
cards
speed
tight to
this
the
up
vest there.
because Latham is still out on the stage.
Yeah.
Do you think the Falcons were like, oh my gosh, this guy's still there? Run the card up. Is that what we're feeling
That's what
here?
it sounds like. But shouldn't it be for an offensive lineman protect Cousins?
I don't know. Brandon's
Well, there's
saying
Bo and JJ. Bo and JJ are both. They could be, your
are
life.
they drafting both?
Yeah,
That would be a
couple.
shocker.
That
The
would be a
Bears
shock.
are going to get Knicks on their
We're going to
pick.
turn in a card with two quarterbacks
right.
on it. Everybody's just going to have to deal with it.
Dude, you didn't say we can't.
Put out the rules.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever, Godot.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
The Bears are going to have two quarterbacks come in as rookies and figure out which one's going to be the number one, and then
They're going to
trade
give
the
it
other one.
the Griffin Cousins treatment.
M
Mhm.
coming in with the $2 super chat. Soft,
Nice.
fluffy pancakes, greater than blue waffles.
What do they have to be blue?
I don't
Because
know.
they have blueberries.
Well, blueberry waffles are good. Yeah.
I think
I would put them
How else
above
would you make
pancakes.
waffles blue?
Die.
Oh, you could get like right, die. That's it. I was gonna say you could put like blueberry, like the Count Chocula, but the
All right.
blueberry.
Barry's already spoiling it in chat. Let's talk about it.
Oh,
They did.
what?
Yeah.
Penix, number 4 quarterback taken.
Are you serious? Really? Now I happen to love Penix going to a dome and playing on a super
Oh
fast
yeah.
track.
And getting behind a guy.
Right.
That's awesome.
And I know and they actually do a pretty good line. That's interesting.
That's a heck of a pick.
It's
That's a heck of a
interesting.
pick.
But
I
also,
like it for them.
also very interesting for teams like
Yes.
the Vikings and the Broncos.
Interesting. Wow, they jumped the
So now it's JJ and Bo.
Yeah.
JJ.
But
Bo,
this would
Bo.
also be a smart move for it fits exactly what we were talking about with the strategy of having a guy sit
Yeah.
behind a starting quarterback.
Wow, they took
Perfect for
Penix.
him.
I am
I think
a
this is
little shocked.
perfect.
Listen, I fast track in Atlanta. He's that uniform. I'd be fired up. If I'm a Falcons fan, I'd be pumped. They do got talent. They got London. They got Bijan, of course. And who's the tight end they haven't thrown the ball to yet?
Oh, the
Who's-
kid they drafted in the first round.
Number
That's
eight. Number
really
8.
good.
Yeah. No,
Uh,
he's good. They just don't throw the ball to him.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
the heck's his name? Somebody knows his name. Tight
gosh,
end.
I can't believe I'm blanking on it.
I know.
Yeah.
Me neither.
Talked about it a bunch last year.
Collective brain loss.
I'm too busy trying to follow the news. We saw, and Axel's
Pitts,
saying
right.
yes. That Ian Rappaport said that the Falcons are
Pitts,
considering
Kyle Pitts.
Penix.
Considering is definitely different. Yeah, Kyle Pitts. Thank you, everybody. Kyle Pitts had a good first year, by the way. Meaning like yards wise, he had over 1,000 yards. And then they just stopped throwing the ball, which was interestingly enough, they didn't throw the ball, nor did they hand the ball to Bijan. Very, very weird team last year. Very
And
weird.
Arthur Smith's mustache. Throw
Yeah.
that in there. It's very, very weird.
It's extremely weird.
I wasn't watching a stream, Nate. It was just a tweet that through my alerts that Michael Penix to the Falcons. And yes, here Roger Goodell is announcing it. Michael Penix to the Atlanta Falcons.
It's exciting for him.
Good for him, man. Heck of a kid.
Yeah, that's a cool scenario.
And he has a game that's similar to Cousins. What a great guy to be behind and learn a little bit.
Interesting. Wow.
Just the other hand. That's the thing, is the playbook's going to be set up the other way. But
Well, they can.
It's impossible to figure out.
It's like when you're learning how to play golf, you want to learn from a left-hander if you're a righty, because then
for
you can
mirror,
look straight across and mirror them. Yeah.
I brought in
Absolutely.
another sport. That's good.
Well, while we got Penix getting drafted, I think it's a good time. We got 100 and almost 60 people with us tonight. So if you're out there, also, hey, go tell 12 other 12s to hop in. So send them the link. Let's get this thing jamming even more. Hit the likes. If it's the first time, please subscribe. It obviously helps. And we're having fun. But wow, guys, Penix, that is.
We have our neck pillows.
We got, well, yeah. You know what, guys? I think I'm going to get you. I know what to get you all for Christmas now. matching neck pillows.
I was looking at that, Clinton. You have a neck pillow. I have mine sitting here that I take on the plane. I could pop it out. I'm like, but what am I leaning against? It looks like you have a neck pillow that's just keeping your neck warm.
This is totally not comfortable. You're exactly right. It's not comfortable. It's warm. It is purely for show. I can't stand.
I've
this
never
thing.
understood the life inflator, neck pillow thing. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, well, the
Just
thing
put
is
your
too,
chin to your chest and drool like the rest of us. Come on.
What I typically do on flights is I actually end up using it as like a lap pillow, and then it's actually kind of comfy. But yeah, it's really more just show off to show people I'm a Seahawks fan, and they look at
Okay.
me like all weird. That's fine. I'm good with that.
I've never been able to actually nap with a neck pillow. It doesn't increase comfortability at all.
No, it makes things way worse. It's terrible device.
Yeah, glad it's not
Because
just
you're
me.
not wearing a Hawks shirt. You're not wearing a Hawks hat. You had to grab something for Hawks to get on the podcast.
That was pretty much it. And I have this right here. I have my my trucker like Hawks hat, which I love. I just didn't feel like I was like just out of the shower and hopped down here 3 minutes late as was. So
Okay.
Max Burks from saying, I don't think the Bears can resist Rome here. See, all this talk about mediocre wide receivers in Chicago, they can go and they can actually have a number one by getting Rome Odunze off the board at number 9.
And that's awesome. Three teams, not for us, but 3 teams that really didn't have a one receiver really elevate their roster with these number 1 receivers in this first part of the draft. So their fan bases have got to be pretty stoked with what's going on.
I mean, they should take Rome. That would be legit. Or Brock Bowers, right?
But they've got Keenan Allen. Why would they take Rome Odunze? And DJ Moore. They're
because
so
he's
good.
He's old. You need a me and my third receivers. So
Clinton just let me do it. He didn't even.
The pick is in for the Bears.
He didn't even snap back that time. He just let me.
Did we get a second look at the Bears war room? Were they a little more fired up for pick 9 than
I know, right?
Generational quarterback?
I don't want to take the hoodie, this thing off, but I think I have to. Sorry, guys.
I feel you're getting a little red.
Oh yeah.
With DJ Moore though, why would they take a receiver? He's like one of the best of the entire generation.
Yeah,
he's
top 3.
He's really good.
It is a disappointing time, though, for a lot of Washington Huskies fans because, you got to watch Penix come off the board ahead of Seattle picking. I think there were a significant number of Seahawks fans that were rooting for Penix to maybe fall to Seattle at number 16. I think most people understood that Odunze probably wouldn't make it that far, and even if he did, they probably wouldn't pick him.
Not the snail. He was not rooting for him. So I'm happy for him. Yeah.
It's
quite a few. I've heard quite a few people had Penix at as their number 4 quarterback for quite some time now. All of a sudden, JJ was leapfrogging him by quite a few guys, and but I had heard quite a few. Was like, is it him or Nix for 4? And then all of a sudden, JJ seemed to get all this momentum in the press, but it's not like this is out of nowhere for him to be the number 4 quarterback off the board.
No, I mean, especially after the pro days and all that stuff. And dude, he was good. He's been good for 2 years. He's good. There's no Penix is a good quarterback, and he's got all the arm talent. He's exciting. I get it.
No, it's going to cut into DJ Moore snaps.
They do
what
pick
will
Rome.
Fantasy players do?
You guys.
Rome to the Bears.
This will look really good when Keenan Allen's injured week 2.
That with his hamstring issues, Keenan Allen does not stay on the field. That's fair.
Yeah.
That is fair. Gee, but that's a nice trio. That's a good trio. Maybe they're not
it's a nice Uno.
Yeah, he's a 1.
Yeah, that's it.
Dude, what are you saying? DJ Moore is really good at football, man.
If you went through all of the receivers, and actually, like when we were talking about Kyler earlier being like bottom 3rd, right? And you get to bottom 3rd in a hurry, you get to middle of the receivers in a hurry.
Yeah, but you get to like
DJ Moore.
You get to like the 15th best in the NFL. You're like, all right, DJ Moore's around there. He's good, man. I don't know. I would love for others in the chat to chime in on the DJ Moore.
He's not a top half number 1.
We're done talking about DJ Moore. Chat, do not respond to Clinton.
He is just a different type of number 1. He is not your alpha.
Not a 1.
He's
Well,
number 2 behind Romo.
again, Amon-Ra St. Brown is not your prototypical number 1, but he's a 1. That's
he's
the thing.
good.
So with your math teacher, Clinton, you say, well, I know it's not a 1, but this is a different type of 1. You got to take my
Exactly.
answer.
It's the new math.
Kind of like
math
the new
bit.
math. Clinton's got the
Exactly.
new rankings where
That's it.
a guy
That's-
can be wherever just based on a stat or 3.
Yeah. Man, I'm gonna hold my tongue on where I would place DJ Moore, but I've got thoughts.
Okay. You think he's
They'll
a top
get-
half number 1? You really do, Clint? I think he's awesome number 2, but a top half number 1. I
No,
couldn't
he's
see it.
a top tier 2 by
Okay.
he's
Yeah,
awesome too.
Perfect.
Top
fine.
tier one of the best. Yeah, he's around there though, because I think he's one of the best 15 wide receivers in the league. I think he's around there.
Brian says he's not even the best DJ in the NFL.
Love it.
That's fair.
Well, speaking of DJ Dallas, I'm really, really excited for kickoff returns this year, that they'll be back in the game and that DJ Dallas will not be returning punts or kickoffs for us. Like, good luck. He's a Cardinal now, I think, right?
Yeah.
He's with Arizona. Good luck over there. I also want a coach. I want a coach who's willing to take more. Like, I don't want the guy who's just going to catch the ball. I want the explosive guy who could break it.
We've got our
Ooh.
first trade of the draft.
Ooh.
Vikings
There goes JJ.
trading
be
up
both.
with
be
the
both.
Jets,
I think it's JJ.
moving up one pick. Now, was it the Bears that got crushed for doing that all those years ago when they traded up 1 pick?
Well, the
People
thing
are
is
like,
too.
I
but-
can't believe you just stay put.
You only
No,
do
but-
it if there's a fight over the player.
Well, that's the
That's the
thing.
only
There might be 2 other teams trying to trade in. Like
That's the explanation that I tried to make way back in the day, and
Right.
people.
But what
aren't
if they're
happy.
lying? Yeah, you better trade with us because I've got 2 guys on the horn.
Well, I mean, that's just the smart way to do it. But the
But if
Broncos
you're-
could have been trying to trade up. It could have been, any number of teams trying to get that, especially after Penix comes off the board maybe earlier than expected. That I think that maybe shook things up a little bit. And now the Vikings, they give up a 6th round pick. Oh, no, they received a 6th round pick. They gave up a 4th and a 5th to move up
one slot.
Ooh, that's good for them. Look, if you're the Vikings, there's the added pressure too. You have to show Justin Jefferson you're trying. Like, you have to.
Well, I mean, this is great for both these teams. I mean, because I think what happens, I think it's JJ, I would think, and then the Jets are taking, I think, Brock Bowers. Then they go get an awesome playmaker for a team that's in win now mode. That's
Yeah.
my guess, and they just got
think you're
picks
right.
for the dude they wanted anyway. I think once Rome went off the board, that was like a no brainer for the Jets.
Aaron Rodgers played 5 snaps for the New York Jets. He was running for his life on all of them. They
Yes, he
need to
was.
pick an offensive lineman so bad.
Yeah,
It hurts.
That's true. But they're the Jets and they do dumb things, and they're another poverty franchise.
What
so
I
they
like is
do-
there's
they
a
do
lot
bad
of
things.
players getting picked that we don't care about as Seahawks fans, really. And then there's
Don't
these
jinx it,
really good-
Phil. Don't jinx it.
there's these really good corners still there, and I don't want a corner. I don't know about you guys, so maybe someone wants to jump up and get a corner. I mean, I think
I'm
we
not.
might have a chance to do a little slide and still get some beef.
It's true. It's true.
I wouldn't be mad at a corner. I'll put it that way. But yeah, like Gambling Goat
I'd be
said,
mad. I'd be freaking out, Brandon, if we take a
you'd be
corner.
mad at it if
Yeah.
they took the best corner off the board at 16.
At
I wouldn't.
16, I would. If we
If
trade
they took-
down and get one, I'll buy it.
If
Yeah.
they took Quinion
We
Mitchell,
gotta go
or
beef. If we're
Coop-
going early.
Cooper, if we took Cooper DeJean, I'd be pumped. It'd just be like, this dude
Oh,
could play. He's good, man.
I would be furious. I'd be
Yeah.
absolutely furious.
But the type of player that if Mike McDonald wants the next, Hamilton, that's the type of dude. He's extremely versatile. Literally safety
love him.
slot.
Yeah.
He's good, man. He
I
can play,
love him.
and he's a kickoff return. Look, he's not my dream. I gave you guys my dream pick. I'm just saying, if we got
Sure.
Cooper DeJean, I think our defense just got a lot better, and in McDonald's terms, way more multiple. It'd be interesting, fellas. That's all. So, but I think Cooper DeJean's a heck of a ball player.
Yeah, I totally agree. But if we're just getting shoved in the middle of up the middle of the
Oh,
line all game on both sides,
Again, it's not my first or second or even third, right? I mean, if we don't take Fatanu or another, tackle or guard that's there, I love the idea of getting a defensive tackle. I happen to like Newton better than Murphy, And I'd still be like, all right, if they think Murphy's their dude, yeah, I'm all for getting getting that spine stronger, as McDonald calls it.
If we stick and pick it to Gene, that would make me flip out probably, and I haven't in a long time at the draft. Even though I love the player, and I totally agree. I'm not mad. I'm not saying I'm mad at your idea because it's everything you're saying about him. I agree. I'm just saying if my favorite team that keeps getting shoved up the middle either way takes another corner where we actually have some dynamic players and possibly one of the great players, I'll be sad.
But the thing is, I wouldn't overreact right away to it because interior defensive line, that's something you normally take, with your 3rd round pick or beyond. Traditionally what John Schneider does anyway. So
yeah,
unless I could see him going interior D line if it is an interior defender with pass rush upside like Murphy. So that would kind of hurt me a little bit, but
3 really good corners there. I'd love to trade our pick for that, drop back a little bit, and take some beef.
It's a good point by Andrea here, who says DeJean is versatile. He played 1,000 snaps a corner. He could play safety. So I think that it's just the projection and the fact that he is really athletic.
He's got the skill set. See,
I like Andrea letting Clinton know how he was so wrong with facts, logic, and reason. That's
that guy.
Yeah.
And other people that watch that grind the tape. They grind the tape. They tell me
I like his special teams ability. I think that if you get DeJean, then you have your punt returner.
Yeah, you do, and yeah, for sure.
Let's get our special teams player at number 16.
Let's trade up for it, Bill.
Like when I went to that, you guys were at that game after we won the Super Bowl and we're going against the Packers. Fun game, but I didn't love seeing Earl Thomas back there receiving. Even if he was good, which he failed at it, it's like, this guy's so important to our defense. He's the guy we can't lose, and we're going to get him broken.
It was such a weird decision.
Yeah,
I agree with you. It was like
great. I don't want him my punt returner.
Every second of that was.
Did they send in the Viking selection via carrier pigeon? Like, why did it take 45 minutes?
I don't know. Wait. So JJ McCarthy is gone. That's what we're saying here.
I think Roger's still making the call.
Gotcha.
But it is JJ McCarthy. JJ McCarthy going to the Vikings at number 10.
That's smart.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good move for the Vikings. They have all the pieces, and you got to make Justin Jefferson happy, like Adam said.
Yeah. It's a great fit for JJ.
Yeah, it's nice too. Like, he's a Michigan kid. It goes one state over, right? Part of Michigan's next to Minnesota. Yeah, the peninsula. If we're going right to left, if I got my geography right, then you're in Minnesota.
Now
I'm starting to really shift into Seahawk mode now, guys.
All night long.
Are you guys just starting to really think Seahawk mode instead of just these players? Like, Adam, what if your guy Bo is there at 16 now?
Oh, take him.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
He's the next Steve Young. It's so freaking obvious watching the tape. Like, I can't understand why he's so low on most people's boards. I don't get it, but there's no way he gets past Denver here. I texted Bronco Jared this last week, and I told him that I genuinely hope that they end up with Bo Nix because, they had the chance at Josh Allen and went Bradley Chubb, a couple years ago. And he deserves to have one thing go his way as a Broncos fan here. It's been a stretch here.
That'd be 6 quarterbacks in the top 12. Some people said that's almost impossible, and yet, wow.
This guy said several weeks ago it's probably likely, and that it would result in us getting a blue chip at 16, and we should stick and pick with 9 to 10 guys off the board, and it doesn't happen every year, man. So
I'd have been shocked if there wasn't 5 that went before us. 6 is the one I wasn't sure. Like, will the 6th one happen before us? That's what I was. But I'd have been shocked if there weren't 5 with all these quarterback needy teams.
And I think Adam accidentally watched Bo Jackson tape.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I've heard people say, well, and then Bo Nix. And like, what's the downside? Like, I've never really heard anybody make a actual logical argument as to why Bo Nix isn't a legitimate prospect.
He failed in the SEC, Adam. He couldn't make it in the SEC. He had to go out to the Pac-12.
Yeah, where how many of these quarterbacks look like they're getting drafted in the top 15 picks here in the Pac-12? How many? Because Dix is gonna go to Denver.
Yeah.
He may. The thing I did not like about Knicks, which I took the exact opposite approach. You studied the U tape. I did not. So just that's that.
Sure.
Just watching the combines. I was texting with Brandon while it was happening live. I'm like Bo Nix is late on everything. Everything's low. Everything's late, and he doesn't have pads on. And it just was weird. I was like, why can't he just throw on time when he knows what the receiver's doing with no defensive backs on him? So I was just like, I don't think this guy's very good.
I think that Clinton is just bothered that he doesn't have an accent like Yvonne Drago. He looks like Drago. He should talk like Drago.
Or at least Detlef Shrimp, right? We covered that too. Like he's got a little
Brock Heward, isn't he? Doesn't he look like Brock Heward?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little more Eastern European than Brock.
Yeah.
Okay.
To Nate there, like the big difference between him and Mac Jones is that his arm action's way quicker and he can actually move. And it is weird, Scott. You're right. It definitely, that's the exact right way to feel about it. And the other thing, Clinton, him being late at the combine, the thing about his tape and like his actual performance on the actual football field playing actual football, he was the most on time dude of all of them by far.
Yeah. 77.4% completion percentage, 45 touchdowns, 6 rushing touchdowns. And when you do watch him, he's getting rid of that ball all the time. I just don't know if it's because of how awesome their play calls were, or he's definitely accurate on those. I'd take that offense.
I know he threw the most screens, I think, in college football, also like 27%. But whatever. But still, college football is loaded with horizontal play anyway. So like, I don't even ding him for that. So because that was a big thing. It's like, well, it's like 27% screens. Well, guess what? Most of these quarterbacks are throwing around the line of scrimmage in college. That's just the way it is.
If the Jets don't take Bowers here, Clinton is going to start getting really excited. But the Jets should go offensive line. That's what they should do.
Yeah.
Will they?
So should we, but I would be excited by Bowers. Bowers is special.
I would much rather take offensive line than Bowers.
Oh, well, he could play on the line sometimes.
Kind of.
No, he's a pretty good blocker. He's not George Kittle, but he's not Noah Fant.
That's what I was wondering. If he had Noah Fant revisited.
Let's pick the position that's busted the most at first round picks in the last 5 years. Let's do that. That sounds great.
QBs?
Non QBs. Give me a break.
Brock Bowers is not going to bust. But either way.
Neither was Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts didn't bust. They didn't throw the ball.
Olu Fashanu, a tackle out of Penn State going to
the Jets. That is so great because that's not the guy I wanted. That's great.
Hey. The one we didn't want. Yeah.
Wow. Fuaga's still, Fuaga's still out there. Fatano's still there. Some other dude with an F probably. Well, there's the, he was the other F guy, I guess. So.
Yeah.
But
you can't have 2 Olus on a team. You cannot.
It wouldn't work.
I happen to agree with you, Adam. It's just, you can't do that.
Well, if Fuaga's there.
How's Fashanu going to move into play guard?
He's going to go either just a little bit to the right or a little bit to the left.
Important question. Did he play basketball at any point in his life?
Right. Yeah.
Help us.
That's what matters.
So no defensive player taken yet to this point.
Oh,
that's
boy.
right.
Wow.
If we don't take a guard, George.
Should we talk about which defensive players we don't want?
Yeah, corner.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 awesome corners that are there.
I don't want Turner.
Yeah. I'm kind of anti him too.
So I'm unfamiliar with Turner, but it feels a little like the Will Anderson talk from last year, where once the draft time came around, everybody's like, "Yeah, but he doesn't really do anything. Like he's just not that explosive. He's not that flashy. Comes in and he lights it up." Is that kind of how this Turner kid is? Is that where it's been going? I don't know.
Well, he is a little bit on. He's 6'4", 250, so he's kind of on that lighter side. He is really explosive. It's just, I do worry about him being able to set an edge,
which
is, I think, what we want at that spot.
What about Leitu?
He's been mocked to us a lot. What do? I listen to other people that watch this and really watch it, and then I regurgitate some of it that I believe, or go watch a little tape.
Yeah.
The big thing that we've heard about him is like, oh my gosh, incredible technician, like really skilled, knows how to do the NFL things, but not exactly in the NFL frame. So does that translate when the average athlete is now 25% better, or 30% better, or 40% better than the average dude you went up against, at UCLA? So I don't know. I'm not sure that it does, Phil. So I'm lukewarm for those reasons.
And some people worried about Latu's neck. Scott saying, I hope his neck's fine. And
Yeah,
it seems like it is, based on how people are talking about him being in the top half of the draft. But
absolutely.
I mean, at this point, it's Latu's going to be there. Or I mean, it's one of the guys between Latu
Verse.
and Turner. One of those three guys is going to be there for us at 16.
Yeah, or Murphy and Newton.
Yeah.
Well, you're talking edge though, right?
Well, I'm just saying that those.
I named off the three edges.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
We prefer the spine over the edge. But
I just want to give Chris CTS 72 a shout out. It says, hello, fellow Seahawks fans. Hello, Chris. If you are new to the channel, man, I maybe you are, maybe you ain't, but hello. Love having you here, dude. And please subscribe and share the Hawkra. Go Hawks, dude.
We've got Amy tipping us picks.
What? Look at that, Adam.
There it is.
Hey, look at
so
what
perfect for them.
Adam ain't wrong. Adam ain't wrong. Dude, you called that a while ago now. Like once you started studying it, and so many folks, I'll give you credit, dude. So many folks are like, he's round 2, he's round 3. I'll jump in and say, I'll take credit in the fact that I knew the stupid Lemmings rush would happen, whether it's stupid or not. I knew the Lemmings rush would happen with QB, but you nailed that Knicks would go this high. So tip of the cap to you, dude.
He's just, I wasn't any, Nostradamus on this one. There's lots of people that liked Bo Nix to the Broncos just because of his style of play and Sean Payton's coaching style. He is the anti-Russell Wilson in terms of playing on time and being efficient. And that's why he looks like the next Steve Young to me. I mean, that was the number one thing about Steve Young, like the peak of his powers. He was so freaking efficient, and then he could move around and, just played within the rhythm of the offense. And that's Bo Nix to a T. He's a grown ass man. Like, he's married, he's mature, he says all the right things. Like, yeah, he's going to be everything that the opposite of everything that annoyed Sean Payton about Russell Wilson.
I agree with Michael Paul. I'd say yes. I think there's a big chance. Like, will they have the top end that the 1983 drafted? Maybe not, but wouldn't be surprised if 4 or 5 of these guys are longtime starters.
And here's the thing, everything's kind of cyclical, right? And we've had so many drafts now where 3 out of the 4 of them bust. Year after year after year. It's like, you know what? One of these years we're going to have another, Manning, Roethlisberger, Phil Rivers type draft, another 1983 type draft. And I think this one's it.
Kelly, Marino.
Yeah, the reason why we are now a pick tipping channel here on YouTube. Because
love it. Look at this. Influencers.
We one of these commercial breaks, we got way behind, and so it ends up the way the clock works. Teams are picking their guys along the normal clock, and the TV has to catch up. And so, yeah.
I mean, the internet's behind at least the pick clock on ESPN is behind what Amy and some folks are finding out, but I'm not opening up my Twitter, so
I'm here for it. I love that we're getting the picks when we're getting them. I think it's great. It's going to happen one way or the other, right? It's not like
team participation. That's fine.
Yeah, it's different than watching the game. Watching the game, I hate. Sometimes I'll glance down at Discord and I'll see like things starting to fire off. I'm like, oh, something happened, but because I'm streaming through, whatever I'm streaming through, I'm like 40 seconds behind. Annoying. But that's my own fault because I can't not look. I can't look away. So, but this I don't care.
I'm fine with it. Here we are, 12 picks in. If we know what's happening, fine. If not, I think we all have a choice of what we want to watch and where we want to watch it. And if you don't like having it tipped off before the TV, then I understand. That makes sense.
Yeah, you could. That's fine. You could do you, right?
Yeah,
We'll be there.
Roger has officially announced the Bo Nix pick, though.
I see him. Yeah, I
Yep.
see him.
Bronco
Ooh,
fans are stoked.
The comp Daniel Jeremiah has is Tua.
Okay, well,
Tua,
I
get
don't
out
know.
of here. His arm's 7 times stronger than Tua's.
That's a good point. Tua is not exactly a downfield threat.
And he's not near the athlete or runner as Bo Nix either.
Hmm.
And he's
Well, you
small.
both picked a left-handed guy, so there's that in common, Adam.
What, Bo Nix? Bo Nix is a righty.
No, I said you and well, they picked
picked
Tua.
Steve
You
Young.
picked Steve Young. I'm saying,
Oh, I
the
see. I
comps
feel
are
ya.
both left-handed, which is kind of funny to me.
That's true. That's true.
Well, this is breaking exactly how I hoped it would break so far. So far.
It is wild that no defensive players have come off at this
This
point.
is so cool. I'm excited about that.
And I still don't want a defensive player. Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's cool that maybe the best one or two will still be there, which I get. But dang it, man, I really want to have a good offensive line.
I
Maybe
don't
it's-
know if I want to take offensive line at this point based on how this has fallen with the defensive players.
I hear you.
I know.
I'm good with pass rush or interior D line.
I wish we had 2 picks right now.
Yeah, but I just don't feel like there's.
Although this is
I-
trade back scenario too.
Oh gosh, that's true.
My dream scenario is coming to pass, gentlemen.
Your dream is
so much
definitely
there.
my nightmare is me having to put that neck pillow back on until midnight.
Oh, that's why. That's why you want to be done.
No, I'm gonna hang. I'll hang for the whole first round anyway. It's all good.
I think if we have 4 guys there that we love, I think it's dumb to just take one if you can pull another day 2 pick out of that. If there's 4
if you could get it, yeah. If you can get a mid, whatever. I agree with that in principle.
Okay, thank you.
But and if there's a guy that you're like, and positional value wise, we need to fix something, then go fix that thing. I don't know. I don't think it's that hard. But
I do
Here's how I
want
want to put the logic to. Oh, go ahead, Brandon. Sorry.
I was just gonna say I do want Sean Payton still to fail with the Broncos. I'm with Chris. I don't like what he did to Russ.
yeah, I agree. He was definitely not cool to that dude at all.
Here's how I'd like the logic. Why the logic of this is my dream scenario, Clinton, and why I've become greedy. We need interior O line. We need interior D line.
We need a linebacker too.
We need other things, but I want to get the. I'm just saying those things we agree that we need, and there are other things.
Yep.
If you can get a good starter of either in, let's say, the 3rd round, and you can get a stud potential in, let's say, the 1st round, but there's a couple of those guys there. It's like, hey, we might get Byron Murphy. We might get Fatanu. I'd like either. They're going to make a big difference in their slot. And then now I'm adding a 3rd round where I know there's another shelf that I can get a solid starter on the other side of the ball. Wouldn't you prefer that over just taking one?
I don't know. Like the thing is, maybe because let's say you do what you're doing and you trade back and you then take Graham Barton from Duke. That's the other hot name, right?
Yeah,
Incredible athlete. He's a guard, et cetera, et cetera. Good. All right. And maybe that's the smart thing to do. I'm not saying it's like that's not logical to think through.
Don't look, Clinton. Don't look.
Oh, okay. I see it. That's okay. I'm okay with that.
Raiders.
I'm actually okay with that. That takes it away from my, I can't get more panicky about it, right? It's like he's gone. And that's interesting. So, okay, good for the Raiders.
Off the board. So
We're going to get one of the top 2 defensive players at our pick here, possibly.
if we stay put.
Fatano or Fuaga's still out there, by the way. Like he's really good too.
Yeah, as Nate's saying, sorry guys, with how the draft has fallen, we are trading back.
Well,
Depends on if anybody's looking to trade up. I don't know.
We'll see. If there's a dude that they absolutely love, and here's the thing, guys, I don't think we should discount where Troy Fatano played football. Like that, and I think that will tell you a lot.
He's a guard. Schneider's not picking a guard.
He's a tackle.
16.
He played tackle at UW, and they may move him to guard. That's fine. He's also 6'3". He's not 6'6" or 6'8", or 6'7", which is your typical tackle, or 6'6" at least. So he's shorter, which is better for guard, but you can still draft him as tackle. And he played at UW, and Grubb's the offensive freaking coordinator. Like, I think we're overlooking way too many things here. If he's still there, I'm just like, I think they pick him.
That'd be cool. I wouldn't be mad about it. But also, too, Grubb is the one who knows him the best. Maybe there's
Right.
things about him that they're not excited about. Like, for all we know.
Yeah, I hear you.
A lot of
He's
hard
like, I
telling not
schemed
going
around
there.
this dude. But they were saying he was the best lineman in college football, definitely for a while there, or definitely in the Pac-12. They're saying this is the best offensive lineman. Watch him work. They were saying that quite frequently.
I could see the Saints taking Fatano too.
Oh, me too. 100%. I agree. The Saints could. The Raiders was a worry for me just because they could use it too. But they did what they did, so that's good. And what pick are the Saints? 14?
They're up now. They're on the clock.
It's Saints and then Colts. So
Okay, gotcha. Okay. If this goes Fuaga for Fatano, I'll be upset. I want the chance at one of those two dudes. But hey, is what it is.
All right, guys, is now a good time to talk about today's sponsor of this live draft day coverage. This is a shameless plug for Gulchworks. This is the company that me and Britt started here this last year. We had our soft launch here this last December. That went well. You guys were amazing. And basically, we've got a bunch of new cool stuff out for you guys right now. And I was trying to share my screen because this is going so seamlessly that we can pop that up there. I don't know. Is that popping up there now, boys?
There it is.
Yeah. We
There
got
it
a
is.
bunch of cool stuff for you guys this go around, like this wireless charger. This thing is amazing. It came out of a piece of juniper burl that was up on the side of the mountain that neighbor Brandon, not this Brandon, hauled down off the mountain on his shoulder, sawed up on the sawmill. We turned it into this, a wireless charger and a little valet tray to go next to it. Really great for your change, your wallet, your keys, that sort of thing. It's got the upgraded, I think it's called the QI3 charger. It's a badass charger. That's pretty sweet. So we've got that available. Got a bunch of cool cutting boards and charcuterie boards. Boys, Mother's Day is coming up on us fast.
Mhm.
You know, that woman did some good stuff for you. The least you could do is get her something that is made, you know, that is an actual genuine piece of art, you know, something that is unique and as unique as she is. So we've got a bunch of really cool cutting boards here, like the hunting board. This one was really fun to make. We put this on the CNC. It was kind of inspired because we've done bees a couple of years and they have been so much fun to do, and really enjoyed that piece. And there's just lots more for you guys to check out. So go to gulchworksmt.com. Check it out, guys. It's all there to be ready to go for you. And appreciate you guys taking a couple minutes and listening to me blab about it. So back to football.
Nice. Good for you. That was awesome.
So we got the bidding wars starting in the chat. See, there we go.
Love it. That's how we do it. It's cool stuff, dude. You and Britt doing good work, and I love some handcrafted stuff.
How does the wood naturally charge your phone? I don't.
It's 0 point energy. I'm a voodoo magician like Tesla.
That's great.
All right, Saints pick coming up. I haven't gotten any tips on the Saints pick here. I wonder if we're back on track. I'm catching up.
Maybe they're looking to trade. I guess
more importantly, we're about to hit Brandon's slot here. So unless the Hawks trade in with the Saints, we're gonna pass Brandon's selection moment.
Oh boy. What did I say? I wrote it down.
17. You're looking pretty good, Clinton.
Right.
Actually, Adam's looking pretty good if we don't drop.
I don't really even see any point in trading up now with how things have gone, because why wouldn't you just let the draft come to you? And I mean,
unless there's a dude and then they love their guy, and that's that.
Yeah, it's highly unlikely.
Newton gonna be there, Murphy gonna be there, possibly.
Say his name, Brandon. Troy Fatano. Okay.
Not
get used to it.
You're not drafting offensive line.
Not happening.
Are you just trying to reverse jinx us, Brendan? Because you want it so bad?
I want John Schneider to prove me wrong, which is fine. It's just I don't want to get anybody's hopes up that we're drafting offensive line because
Too late. Oh,
Does
man.
anyone need to trade up with this? Like, guess if you want offense, you might want to
if
hurry.
you want a pass rush, now's the time to start going for it.
Yeah.
Especially if the Saints end up going offensive line here.
But you wouldn't imagine Jacksonville's going pass rush after us, right? They picked
was
an
it
edge player
Colts?
a couple years ago.
Fuaga's going to the Saints.
There
Oh
it is.
boy, there's one.
A
I'm
dream
getting
just
nervous.
died.
Well, it's just like the chances, it's like that's a big one.
Yeah.
I've been trying this entire stream, Clinton. I've been trying to build it up so you can take this when it happens.
Still gonna be disappointed. Listen, I'm still gonna talk about the fact that if the freaking Cardinals make the freaking field goal, that's our pick. So that's the truth.
Okay,
We would have picked 14th.
Offensive line anyway, so we're
Great,
going to the
great
third
loser
round.
way to think.
Take a guard in the third round. Where John Schneider takes a guard.
Like we always do, right? And that's that.
We'll be fine.
Get a mediocre guard, let him walk in 4 years, and that's that.
We'll get to complain for the entire evening after this pick and up until they draft a guard that John Schneider's not doing enough to draft guards.
What would all our Seahawks conversation shows do if the Seahawks had a really good O-line and we didn't have a couple whipping boys?
Oh, we'd find a new one. Yeah. I mean, whether it's the water boy or whatever, we'd figure out something to complain about.
Okay. So we'll be fine.
Yeah,
We don't
it'll be
have to
okay.
fear.
Yeah, we'd have stuff. We'd have stuff to talk about. All right, Fuaga.
So what are we? We're 6 quarterbacks off the board. Anybody trading up to take the 7th best quarterback?
I don't
Who
think
is
so.
that?
Not Rattler.
Right.
No,
Jordan Travis.
it's not
It'd
happening.
be Jordan Travis, yeah.
By our accounts.
But
We
you
still
can
don't
pick
have
him
a
up late.
It's still no defensive player. 14 in.
I'm getting nervous, boys.
Nuts. It's crazy.
So it's Colts now, right? Is that correct?
Indianapolis,
then us?
Seattle. Yeah.
Okay. They're gonna take Fatano. I'm gonna be so mad. I just think that's what's gonna happen.
You can be mad all you want. If he's there when we're on the board, it's not happening. I'm telling you.
I'm saying the Colts. I think the Colts are gonna take him, and then I'm gonna be big.
The
mad.
Colts are probably taking Murphy, I think. They really, really need their defensive tackle.
I know, but they hate me. Now look, let's see what they do. Let's see. Hey, they get the pick of the litter, right?
This will be the Murphy pick.
announcement by Roger Goodell now on Fuaga to the Saints. How wild is that though? If like Jay Rhodes is saying, if we have our pick of the very first defensive player, how fitting would it be with Mike McDonald coming on as the new Seahawks head coach and getting to pick the top defensive player of the draft after Indianapolis takes Fatano ahead of us?
Oh, gutting me, man. Well, it's not like our defense was good, so I could get behind it. Our defense was pretty bad too. So offense was pretty good. Offensive line was poor. We'll see, boys. We'll see.
I don't know. Murphy's I'm not even 50% they'll take Murphy, but if I had to say, gun to my head, who they most likely, Murphy makes the most sense. That's their big hole, and he could be a difference maker. But there's a couple of those guys.
You really don't think Troy Fatano makes the most sense, like given the UW stuff and like what we need?
No, for the Colts. For the Colts.
Oh.
I think
sorry.
Murphy is perfect for what they need right now.
My bad.
Yeah, they're pretty good at the edges for pass rush, right?
Yeah.
I don't even know, to be honest.
That's what I had been hearing leading into the draft. And that's also what it says on NFL and ESPN. Biggest need, interior defensive line.
Yeah, that's a good question by Barry. Other than we know who Clinton's best player available is right now.
Well, he may not be the best, the BPA, but
if we're going by John Schneider's,
creative BPA,
his strategy.
BPA.
I think the BPA might be, for me, it's probably Newton. I think he's the best player available, or potentially like Mitchell or Cooper DeJean. They might be best player available. And I still would take Fatano because that's the biggest need. And he's good, really, really good. So But that's how I'd answer it, I think.
Let's talk about how Barry agrees with me. I like this in the chat. Barry agrees with Phil. I don't often see that. So Barry's my friend now.
Ooh,
It would make
maybe.
sense for the Colts to go corner. Really, the
Yeah.
Colts have holes all over the place, so they could go just about anywhere.
Yeah, I agree. They're not.
They might take the first defensive player off the board.
Their roster is a little meek right now, so agree. Agree.
Carry on Arnold too, from Alabama.
Yeah.
Turner's considered the top player available on 3 different sites that I've.
Yeah,
Got
Daniel Jeremiah has Arnold as his best.
See,
Okay.
I like what
That's right, Amy.
I like what Barry's saying here. Drinks on him if we take
Hey.
Johnny Newton, so why not?
Okay.
Something about those Illinois teams these last few years, man. They are just pumping out good defensive players. So
And then, guys, I'm kind of wondering, there's so many good players. Everybody's getting these other good players that we like. That means McDonald's going to be the biggest difference maker no matter what happens in this draft, because how you scheme up the players is the edge that you get, right? I mean, if we like so many of these players, other people are getting them. What's going to be our ace in the hole? Well, hopefully it's the McDonald defensive genius we've been looking for.
but I think that's the piece. So I think the philosophy for me, or like why I think they will actually go offensive line, is because I think McDonald's gonna be like, okay, I can solve the other side of this. I have enough players already, and I can piece it together. It's what I've done before, and I can do it again. And he's confident in that. Meanwhile, he's going to want to give the new offensive lineman the thing he needs to protect the quarterback. I don't know. That's how I justify it, but that's like logic that maybe is like not in John Schneider's brain whatsoever. You know, it hasn't been for 14 years. So,
Well, what if I were to get a devil's advocate viewpoint here on that, Clinton? So if you're Mike McDonald, you're looking at it and you go, well, look, the offense, it's fine. And, you know, we just lost a couple interior offensive linemen. You can pick them up. They're a dime a dozen. No big deal. We'll plug them in. Grubby will get it done. And what I really need to do is fix this defense that was so terrible last year. And so I'm going to need a couple extra pieces to make sure that happens, like an interior player, another edge rusher, or whatever it is. Maybe that's what he's thinking, because that's the unit that has the largest delta to improve and would make the biggest difference.
So both of those arguments could be great. And here's what I think it's going to come down to. What Clinton said is right. I mean, offensive line can be a defense's best friend, especially if there's a coach that's confident he can set up the defense. He's got enough there to build the recipe. But then the defensive coach might say, I want to get studs in here because I know how I can make a difference with these studs. Here's what I think it's going to come down to for John, who actually makes the decisions and runs this team, is if I'm picking at 16, this guy's got to be a big-time difference maker for my team. This guy's got to be a controller, a mover. Else, why would I pick here at 16? I should back off and get more players that they can put together. If it's just a bunch of workable guys and I'm picking between 10 different guys for slightly different reasons or advantages here, I don't know if John's going to do that.
With the quarterbacks pushing everything down, though, Phil, this is an unusual position to be in, because usually when you're picking here, you don't have a chance at some of those blue chip players, like a top, for example, 12. Getting a guy who's best at his position group at 16, like that doesn't really happen. So I don't know. It's gonna be fascinating. Here we go.
So there really could be a difference maker if this, let's say there was 2 quarterbacks taken in the first area. This would be like a top 12 pick, possibly, if you want to look at it that way.
Yes, that's exactly it. So Amy's breaking it here. Well, I will get back to Paul in a second, which thank you so much. But Amy's breaking it. I saw somebody else before too, but looks like Latu too. Well, it is going to be Latu to the Colts, and another player. I'm okay. I'm okay with him being off the board. He wasn't even my favorite defensive end. So
they've been using Rashford strategically on the NFL Network. Whenever there's kind of a surprise or a little bit of discussion, they bring him on to talk about, because they brought him on right ahead of the Penix pick to talk about Michael Penix. And, they brought him on to talk about Latu here a little bit before the Colts ultimately picked. Paul Baglio coming in with a $5 super chat. Let's go. Done with the mock drafts. Thanks for the show.
Yes,
Appreciate
yes,
you,
Paul.
Paul.
This
Yeah.
is
Can we
this
be
is
the first team to get a good trade, right? Like that, there was a trade that was kind of they just flipped spots. It
Yeah.
worked for both of them, but maybe a first trade that actually scores some draft capital. Will we be that team? What do you think, guys?
How far back is too far back for you, Phil? What do you think?
Looking at this board, for me, too far back is after 22. Let's see who's
Okay.
who's sitting right in there.
Yeah, I don't want to trade back more than about 5 picks, I think.
Okay.
I don't want to trade back, but that's me. I've been saying that for 2 months now.
I'm with you, Clinton. I really don't want to trade back.
I
I
just
never
like-
want to trade back. I want to make a pick.
I know,
and
I
feel
know.
awesome about it. Yeah.
I just have the LJ Collier nightmares of like we did all that and we just crapped the bed.
I
until
really
the-
want Jared Verse here. That's
It worked. We got DK out of it, Clinton. All that trading scored us DK.
Okay, well then that's good. Then good. Yeah, I know that was part of the mix there. So yeah, Jared Verse is a good player, man. Jared Verse is, if we get Jared Verse, it is an interesting mix to our edge group for sure.
Okay.
It
I don't
makes
know
the-
about Jared Verse. Tell me about Jared Verse.
He's a Florida State pass rusher. He's got more size than Turner, so I like that. Like he puts linemen on the ground, so he finds a way with leverage to beat his guys. He can beat his guys with speed around the outside. I feel like of the edge dudes, he's more the most complete.
Dynamic.
Yeah.
Two guys I'll be excited about if we pick and stick and pick. Fatanu and Byron Murphy. If we get one of those guys, I'm still stoked. Stick and pick. Good. We got a guy that's going to be great. If not, I'm going to wish we traded down if we take someone else.
I will say last year, I didn't know Witherspoon. I knew Witherspoon coming up to the draft, but I was like, okay, that was kind of cool. I was working last year, but then I wanted JSN so badly, right? I was like, oh my gosh, if we get him at 20, that's a steal. So I kind of got my wish last year. So not say I don't want it again,
You did.
but
You
I did get it last year.
Yeah. And that's why we're looking at defensive tackle this year.
Look, don't blame me because we, didn't draft a friggin' running back. I mean, a linebacker last year. Decided to draft Charbonnet in the second and McIntosh in the seventh. It's like, come on,
Charbonnet.
he's fine, but we needed a freaking linebacker. And then Ivan Pace Jr. just goes undrafted and he's awesome. Stupid decision with McIntosh.
So you could have drafted the running back and then just picked him up as a UDFA.
Well, Ivan Pace was UDFA, but they just could have taken him in the 7th round. He was like a known, hey, this guy's a very good. Yeah. Like this guy's a good linebacker.
And he doesn't get to pick where he wants to go. He has to go where he's picked.
Exactly. But no, we got to get another talented running back.
I'd love to drop 5 or 6 and get Graham Barton or something. I'd still be super stoked and have a lot more to look forward to tomorrow.
I hear you, but that roll the dice of like you hope, and then you get big city snipes, and there go your big guys right in front of you. And
no, that's
poof.
the terror. That's the excitement, though. It's like, can we get the double?
To 702.
I think I had 707, right?
Yeah. Let's see. I know I had 717.
Adam's 707. Adam's gonna win.
Yeah.
Well, somebody at 640.
It's hard being this right all the time. Like you'd think it would be easy, but like I have to wake up and work at it every day.
Oh no, don't tell me that. Is this in? Is this what John is saying is real or no?
No, I think he's just saying that as a question. Could we go Turner?
I guess
Dallas Turner would be fine too.
Yeah.
Adam's not gonna win if we trade down.
True fact.
That is true.
I want Adam to win.
That could be Clinton's way in to get
No,
in
I
the free meal.
I don't want it. That's fine. I'll pay.
Hey, all right, Barry.
We go to guarantee barbecue, and I'll gladly chip in for that. So
It's good stuff. It's
I
phenomenal.
heard from Garen that we have food waiting for us.
We do.
Thanks to one of our flockers who donated a meal for us.
oh, nice. Definitely will ask for the little flocker discount.
Ooh,
Not on the free.
112 people watching. Stop. Nobody leave. We got 2 more people. Dang. I was thinking it'd be fun for us.
That's not a bad thing, Brandon. Don't be upset when more people tune into the show because the autistic 12s don't line up for you. Come on.
Everybody tuning in, coming on ahead of the Seahawks pick here. They are drafting at number 16. If they stay put, man, if they stay put, they sure have their pick over a number of defensive players. Pretty exciting. So,
Guys, they get a blue chip. This would not happen at 16. That's the
Clinton.
thing. It's
Clinton.
always been the thing.
When you do fantasy, do you do like groupings of players when you do fantasy? Like I've got
Yeah,
these 5
tiers.
receivers. So if
Yeah,
you've got like you've got the wraparound and there's still 4 left,
Right.
are you taking a receiver? Are
No,
you going to go ahead and say,
no.
I got to get the running backs at the bottom of the shelf?
Yeah, typically I would do if there's like the 3 or 4 dudes, you start counting, right? You're like, oh, okay, this guy just probably not gonna take a wide receiver because he's got 2 of them already, right?
Yeah.
You do the whole thing. No, what I do is I take DJ Moore on the way back, and I'm very happy because he's a very, very good wide receiver.
Exactly. You get it on the way back around. So if you got 4 guys you love, drop down.
Yeah, but I got here's the thing. I got one guy I really love.
Okay.
One.
Yeah, if you got one guy you love, you pick him. I'm with you.
He's the guy who plays the position we need
Team
desperately.
stick and pick. Team stick and pick.
All right. Well,
Let's
that
do it
falls
on
back.
NFL Network because, of course, like every time with our pick, they're either at commercial or doing a montage.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
And Adam wins the competition. Now, who is it?
Here we go.
Murphy or
Free
Fatanu?
Commercial.
Free meal for Adam. Adam's a bit of a heater.
Yeah.
You know, he had Bo Nix. He's got people Goldschmidt.
Byron
Roach.
Murphy coming up for you folks right here. Where's the beef pick?
I
The
wouldn't.
best
was my
player
dream.
in the
Yep.
interior defensive line in the draft.
Oh, I wouldn't hate it. I would not hate it. He'd
This
be our
was my
guy.
dream for months. Your guys' 2 number ones. Your guys' guys that you want. Those are the 2 I've wanted all along. I just got greedy today. I'm still happy.
Well, let the hold
And
that
the
thought.
thing
Phil.
about Byron Murphy is he is a University of Texas player. I would have to set that aside, just like I did with Earl Thomas and wasn't Quandre
How long
Diggs?
were you at OU? Like how many
Long
cups
enough.
of coffee?
Long enough to build the rivalry.
Okay. Yeah.
Did you go down to across the Red River to the Red River rivalry game?
Nate Schutz is dropping it.
Yeah. No, we'll hold off on that for the peoples here because let's
it's
build
a
the
cornerback,
drama.
Nate Schutz is
it might
throwing
be
it out there.
Murphy. Adam might not only
They
get
chose
the time,
a long
he gets the
snapper,
guys.
boys. It just happened.
We're not the Niners. Calm down.
Adam's going to get his guy
Try
and the
to go ahead
timing.
take Penix, who's already come off the board, though. I like that, Garen.
I hear over and over and over that Murphy is perfect for McDonald's defense.
I mean,
So-
a big dude who can rush the passer and stop the run, and like it would be perfect for any defense.
Yeah, that's it. That's just called an NFL stud.
Yes.
I think it's getting leaked out there, guys. So
This
I
was
know
the dude
I know some folks know. It looks like Nate Schutz knows. And
on
the
Thursday
snap.
Night Live. This was the guy that I wanted a few weeks ago. So I'm happy.
You were way ahead of us on this, Phil. Absolutely.
But then
I
you
mean-
want it tonight, Adam. You called it tonight. So it's your dream coming true. I just kind of had a spark of it.
So wait, I mean, do we know for sure? Is this it? Are we
I mean,
assuming?
and on
All right, that's it. That's it.
all of
There
his
it is.
picks throughout the night. So there it is. Josh DeHuman. Plays
The
Byron Murphy.
Victory
It's good to see him
cigar.
picking at number 16, a defensive interior player who is pretty versatile, plays all 3 downs, can get after the quarterback and stop the run. Byron Murphy out of the University of Texas going to our Seahawks.
Victory cigars, baby. How do you start it to build a defense? Just like Coach Mike said, with the spine of the defense, you got to be able to stop the run up the middle. It's been my biggest pet peeve for years. It's why I had a mini meltdown during the draft last year. And finally, we get it. And you put this guy next to Hankins. I think this is a dynamic duo up front.
Well, and not only do you have Hankins up the middle, I mean, you have a beefy defensive line. I mean, Maffe's, pretty beefy on the edge. They keep Big Cat Leonard Williams on the defensive line too, and yeah, it makes for a nice rotation there on the interior too.
Oh, ho hum, boys, ho hum. That's all I can say about this.
I've been trying to set you up for your disappointment about offensive line all evening, Clinton, and here you are.
John tried to tell us
an outstanding interior pick.
I think
John tried to tell us.
I think Byron Murphy's really good. So I'm not mad about that. I think hey, that's a good pick. I can't believe we're not. Our offensive line's not good enough. It's not good enough.
Totally agree, Clinton. I totally agree. And I would have been just as fired up for the O lineman as well. It's just, gosh, we got to get better on defense by so much more than we do on offense.
I don't know about that
because we burned early picks on a third receiver last year.
How long since we've got Young on the defensive interior? I mean, I can't even remember since we've gone Young early in the draft at the defensive.
Jaron Reed, when we picked Jaron Reed.
Yeah, that's how long. Yeah.
And he had a long enough career to go somewhere and then come back.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
And Reed wasn't this early. This is a new thing for John, right? I mean, first half of the first round defensive tackle. That's a long time ago that we've done that. I mean, even Meadbane was second round. That wasn't John.
There's never really been somebody with, I would argue, other than when Fletcher Cox was there and they traded out of that pick and traded back for Bruce Irvin. Has there ever been a guy? Well,
last year,
you could make the argument with the last year.
Here's Goodell. Here's Goodell.
Carter.
Yeah, so we're waiting to see if they actually show off a jersey, right? Like the rumor said that in the tweet that got deleted.
There's people wearing the throwbacks there quite a bit. Are we going to listen to Mel or no? Probably not.
Mel?
No, it's Freedom.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Here.
In the 2024 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Byron Murphy, defensive tackle, Texas.
I mean, if he can hold something that big around his neck, he's a strong man.
I haven't seen him yet. I'm on delay.
Look, he has the hat. He's got the Seahawks hat. He knew.
Yeah. Well, victory blunts for Chris, man. If you're into rolling trays, we're going to have one on the website tomorrow at gulchworksmt.com. So just check that out, bud. This is awesome.
Okay.
He looks mean. He does look mean to me.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, listen, I got what I wanted last year. This is not what I wanted this year. That's okay. I'll get over it.
Be at least B level Aaron Donald, and I'll be super happy. That's like such a high bar.
Yeah, his name was Newton in my opinion. But hey, this is our guy now. So
we got the second defender off the board. Is that 2 years in a row?
Oh, I don't know who went before. Oh, Anderson.
Big John Hugs.
Yep. 2 years in a row, we got the second defender off the board. That's a good thing for us.
Worked last year. I agree.
Barry coming in.
Barry.
99.
Oh, Barry. Barry's buying guaranteed barbecue. Thank you.
Yeah, he backed it up. He said he was buying beers for us tonight. Here it is.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, stud guards in round 3 and back. That's when
that's why they're not studs. That's when they're
we can always trade in. Okay. We can always trade in. Next year's first round, get back in the second round.
Gosh, look at that graphic there with the defenders up there. There's some studs up there, and one guy who doesn't like to tackle.
Murphy had some legit highlights. He's got a lot of peeps behind him celebrating.
And listen, and Texas is legit. Like they play legit competition the entire schedule. So it's hey, I hope I end up friggin' loving them. It's one of those things. You're just like, okay, you didn't get the thing you wanted. That's okay. I'll get over it.
Damn. Minnesota loves somebody here at 17.
Yeah, they're moving up. Where did they go? Did they
go? Who's the fourth wide receiver also from LSU? Thomas Thompson. What's his name? He's got a fairly simple name. He's supposed to be
Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah. So like there's lots of folks who thought he just kind of belonged in the top tier group anyway. So could be, they got Jefferson and
Jared
what else?
Hurst would be a good
they've got 2 great receivers. They need another one. You're right.
Well, they got Addison. They got Jefferson.
How many receivers is enough receivers, Clinton? I'm just curious.
5.
Okay.
5 great ones.
5 great ones.
Because one of them is getting hurt, and you want to be able to go 4 wide sometimes.
They're going to take Troy Furtado and protect Penix. That's what they're going to freaking do. Wait, no,
McCarthy.
He didn't go there. McCarthy.
Straight up to get Furtado.
Nope, Dallas Turner.
Oh, Dallas. Okay, well there you go.
There you go.
Now the defenders are going.
Expected to be available here at number 17. He was kind of projected as a top 10 pick.
Yep.
I think there's a big chance we got the best defender in this draft. I think there's a big chance there that we did.
I think that's a solid take.
Which it makes me kind of excited.
Oh yeah. I'm totally fired up.
When you don't have to guess at who they would have liked more, because Latu was the only guy. Latu, the only guy that came off the board. So he's the only one who could. They have They could have even potentially liked more.
Yeah.
Well, Ray, Raven with the great commentary.
No, I love it. He looks
That was
tough.
the
He's
case
not trying to
when
dress like a
Mark
pretty
would have
boy.
fallen.
I like
mean,
I like the lime green, the whatever, the Easter green outfit he's got on there. It's nice. Pastels.
I get I'm a middle-aged white dude who lives in a shed in the woods, but like of all the ridiculous purchases in one's life to make with the stupid purchase of your rookie contract, like these ridiculous chains, that has to be it. That I mean,
It can't be
I
that.
don't
you wear
know.
it once.
Well, no, I don't know. Like I'll the counter argument to that is like they're buying a precious metal. You could literally turn that thing back into cash very, very quickly. Like if you needed to, that you could sell that pretty damn fast for almost what you paid for it. So
Cool. What's your gold company, Clinton? Like, do you have
I think it's like new corp.
But I'm
new
with
corp
you on that.
mining.
It's a solid argument. That's the one that would have gotten me. You're right.
Hey, look, there's worse things you could buy that depreciate in value. Gold is not one of them. So
You know what I
It's
figured
a-
out tonight? What I figured out tonight with 4 mid-40s dudes, there's always a converse argument. No matter what, no matter what
Yeah.
the statement is, we could just pull one out. We can pull out the opposite argument almost no matter what statement is made if we want.
Yeah,
Well, we've all
he-
been with partners for a good long time, and I think that's just a skill you develop at some
Well,
point.
here,
No,
here
you
we
gotta have
are.
a teenage boy, and then you can really figure it out.
Ooh, I missed out on that.
Yeah. Oh yes, there's an opposite no matter what the statement is.
One of the nice things picking Murphy. One of the questions, I know you were talking about Newton there out of Illinois. I feel like Byron Murphy had 3 like really good years in the SEC on the defensive line. Although I don't think he played quite as many snaps as Newton did for Illinois.
We did not.
But yeah, I think his productivity, though, a little bit bigger on size in terms of weight. They're both about the same height, both the same age. 21. 21 years old. That's an acceptable
I
spot.
like that.
We won't
Love
have to
it.
hear from draft Twitter about drafting a dude who is too old.
That's definitely a
So,
plus.
I
That's
like
a
that.
legit plus.
Thank
Yeah.
goodness.
Sojin's take is awesome. I love this take. That it is as excited as I am about Byron Murphy. I refuse to mention Cortez Kennedy, one of my favorite players, because when you throw an all-time namer in with a player that hasn't even played NFL yet, it doesn't work. It's the odds of even Marvin Harrison pick a all-time great. Who knows how good he's
Marvin
gonna
Harrison,
be, but
yeah.
it's highly unlikely that you say, well, he's going to be Randy Moss. I can tell he's going to be Randy Moss.
Well,
because
the converse point to this, Phil, since since we all have them, is that wouldn't every single pick then be a bust because every single one, like in the first round, gets compared to some great.
that's not
player.
opposite. You're furthering my point though, Adam. Right?
No. What
You're-
I'm saying is all the picks would end up being a bust then.
yeah, if you're basing them on an all-time great, there are no good picks.
Oh,
I mean,
see.
this
Okay,
guy's going to be Joe. You see what I'm saying? JJ McCarthy, he's going to be the next Joe Montana. Well, now if he's not Joe Montana, it's a big bummer. He doesn't
Hey.
have to be Joe Montana.
Here's the other converse to it. People don't like comparisons to people we've never heard of or aren't very good.
Mhm,
All right,
mhm.
that's
That's a
fair.
great
Don't bother
point.
us with your facts, logic, and reason,
That's
Brandon.
a great point.
Okay.
This guy reminds me of Joe Blob, a back that was a backup defensive tackle in 1973.
He was great in the locker room, though. So.
I
Byron
wish
Murphy reminds
I wish
me of Jaron Reed.
I wish we took a tackle. That'd be nice.
That's
guys.
Jaron Reed. That's I mean, why not? What
Sure.
about Brandon Mebane? What if he's Brandon Mebane? That'd be awesome.
What
Then
if
that'd be
I
a-
want
that would
him to
not
be
a
Aaron
bust at
Donald?
all.
Can I just can a boy dream on draft
We
day?
want,
This is
we
hope
want our
season.
Aaron Donald. Don't poop on this, Phil.
So if he's not Aaron Donald, are we still going to be able to love the pick?
Yes, I said. I mean, even if it was B level Aaron Donald, like playing on one leg Aaron Donald like type
Yeah.
production, I'd be stoked.
I mean, come on. If he turns into a legitimate NFL defensive, let's say he's like a next Leo Williams, like we get
Yeah.
a
Mebane.
second Leo Williams, that's a really good pick.
That'd be great. Yeah.
That's a great pick, right? So, and then we get to pair him with Leo Williams because, what would we give? We give a second. So, we give a second rounder. Now we have Byron Murphy and Leo Williams compared to last year at the same time. That's, I mean, just looking at it that way, then I can start to get behind that because I like to look through time and compile things that way. And then, geez, we got Leo Williams and Byron Murphy. Yeah, that's a
That's a
deal.
great point.
And we have more than one pick in this draft. Like the Seahawks aren't done.
Yeah, that's true.
Wait,
that's
what?
true.
How many more Hall of Famers are we going to pick?
At
Four.
least 5.
Four. Yeah, at least 5.
Amy Sand think we'll end up with a round 2 pick. Unfortunately, Amy, unless they're trading for future picks to get into the second round,
Yeah.
I don't see us trading up into the second round.
Well,
Feels
if they,
unlikely.
I mean, yes, and I would say if they feel like there's a linebacker that's a game changer, like day one starting linebacker, and if that's Junior Colson or something like that, I think they would pull the trigger and be like, oh, we'll give up whatever next year's second and a third as an example, or a fourth to move into the second.
To move in, yeah, but to just get a second, they'd have to do what Denver did with us and give them next year's first, and that's how we got Earl Thomas. So,
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if we'd have to give up a first for a late, a late second rounder potentially. So if the
it's
dude's
moving up is different than just getting another pick. Yeah. So,
oh, I got you.
Very conservatively leaning to 3 more Hall of Famers in the draft.
would you be
Well-
okay? So what if he is Brandon Mebane level, and then we put him next to Leo Williams? I could love that, right? Would you be
Well-
disappointed if he's only Brandon Mebane only?
Yes,
Okay.
I would be. I mean, he's a good player, but he also took a lot of years to get into a system where he was surrounded by talent, and he was a very good role player on
Always
an
good.
elite defensive team. He was a part of it, but that was some surrounding cast had helped him be as good as he was.
He was one of the
So-
good players when Jim Mora was coaching. Like one of the guys, like this guy's doing his job well.
Yeah, Brandon Beeman's a good football player, man. I agree, but I would want the 16th pick overall to be a bit more successful and a little more dynamic than Mebane was.
I mean, really what we're hoping for out of Byron Murphy is to have the type of dude in the middle who doesn't get pushed around, who is that physical force, right? So that you're no longer being bullied. One of those kind of culture setting guys in terms of toughness and just not being run over and will not bend to anybody else's will. Depending, I'm not too concerned about sack production or anything like that. What I'm concerned about is just him pushing the pocket up from the middle and making life rough on quarterbacks and being stout against the run and just being one of those dudes. Like if he's that, then we nailed it.
Yeah, he's the best pressure guy up the middle in the whole in college football last year. 12% defensive pressure rate from defensive tackle. That's pretty awesome. Like
It's the right number at least,
Uh-huh.
right? So
we like the 12.
yeah, sure.
And he'd be with Dre Jones and Leonard Williams. I mean, we could have some pretty good pass rushers up the middle in that area, I think.
And if Cam Young could do a thing, and see if he could take up space, it'd be interesting. Yeah. Look, I'm warming to it, guys. I'm warming to the idea of Leo and Murphy, and with the rotation of Draymond and others. I get it, and I'm getting behind it swiftly. So
what about like a Vita
now we have
Vea
another player to also root for to be better than Jalen Carter.
Yeah, I like this comment from Charlie. I do. It was a thought I had. I was like, well, wait a second. Did we end up with a guy who might be better than Jalen? We shall see.
Right. And then you got Witherspoon and
We don't have to compare Witherspoon anymore. We have him.
I know.
Yeah.
And you don't got to deal
comparison.
don't got to deal with a guy who left the scene of some of his friends dying in a car crash and avoiding the cops. So there's that too. Like, sorry, but that's
a plus.
It's not great.
Looks
That's
like
not a
So if
plus.
he's Vita Vea type level Clinton, like really good run defender and pushes in
dude,
there.
Come on.
Yeah.
No, Vita Vea
You'd
to
love
me is
that.
a borderline Hall of Famer. Like that guy's been dominant for a decade now. I think Vita Vea is a damn good player. Yeah, to me, he's a borderline Hall of Famer.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know that.
In terms of he's not gonna have the sack numbers, but that guy's a dominant defensive tackle. I mean, oh my gosh. And they've had good defenses too, where he's been the anchor. Yeah,
Well, Murphy is
all day with that. I
Murphy's
would love that.
awesome run defender, and you watch him against the run, he's awesome. And they say it's written up, but you watch him, and then you just happen to notice he's also getting tons of pressures. I didn't realize until I had been reading that he's good at getting pressures. You watch when they're passing, he's always moving them. He's always moving it back. That's going to be phenomenal for Leo and Dre, who are very skilled pass rushers from the interior, from the side.
and not to mention what it's going to do for Mafe and Nuosu, right? You start getting that pressure up the middle, and we've talked about this for years. Start making the quarterback drop back just a little bit further. and you're coming or
Nowhere to
screaming
step
around
up.
the edge. Yep, nowhere to step up, and it could be Clinton. This pick could make it so that Nwosu has the biggest sack numbers of his entire career this year, and I think that should fire you up.
Yeah, that does fire me up, man. Yeah, I love it. I'm
Hopefully
guys,
the
like I said, I'm
Rams-
warming. I'm warming.
Hopefully the Rams don't take Newton here, Clinton.
Newton or
That
Matani.
ruins one of your guys.
Yep. Well, they draft really well, so they'll make it. Unfortunately,
How embarrassing to wear those sheep heads. Gross.
I'd love to hate them.
How much do you think they paid these 7 people who are pretending to be Rams fans?
The sheep heads are weird.
That was some eyes wide shut stuff right there, like with the costumes that they had on. That was scary.
Was that ESPN? Because I'm on NFL Network.
No, I'm
Yeah.
on NFL Network.
Oh, there they are. Okay, yeah, I'm just delayed. That's
Yeah.
how far back I am.
Wow.
Yeah, that's like
Still there.
Well, there's your nightmare fuel, Clinton.
yeah, the sheep heads. It's like the it was at Dragnet with Tom Hanks and Dan
There you go.
Aykroyd.
There you
With the-
go.
They could use
Pagans.
Patanu, right? Couldn't they use Patanu? The Rams? They're
Of course
down
they
a
could
guard.
because he's awesome.
Daniel
Yeah, no.
Reinholtz with the scouting report on Murphy. Great backfield penetration, long levers.
Amazing
Yeah.
sack numbers.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
trifecta of scouting right there.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And then the
Sorry,
Bengals
man.
chose a tackle, and Joe Burrow's
Yeah.
knees got excited.
Yep. Exactly.
People joke about that stuff, and a lot of it is silly, but Gino's feet are different. After having to deal with Russell, Gino's feet are really good. And I know people tease about
Oh,
that.
yeah.
You watch the base that he has and just the handle and control. It's refreshing when somebody does do some of those key elements really well, and you get to see the difference.
Yeah, he hangs in the pocket, climbs the pocket.
Gets a good platform.
And I love Russ. Russ is going to be. I still think he'll be a Hall of Famer. Plus, I think he's going to play pretty well in Pittsburgh. But I think you do a decade of what he did, you're going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Grady
Ooh, I hope
Jarrett's an exciting comparison.
I hope it's not Grady Jarrett, because he was only good for like 2 games a year.
Against the Seahawks. You
Yeah.
compiled all the sack numbers.
Yeah.
This day excites me for Gino, though, guys, because all those chances that we might trade up or get a quarterback and put Gino in jeopardy are gone. I think this means Gino's our starter for at least 2 years, even if we go for a guy next year. So I'm kind of excited for him.
Oh, Brandon, your nightmare.
No, my nightmare, not Clinton.
Well.
That's okay. Verse is going to stink. He's not
Yeah.
good.
They got Verse.
Remember when I was talking him up earlier, Adam? This guy sucks.
Yeah. No, totally.
He was the guy I would have been excited about if I wasn't already happy with our edge and unsatisfied with our interior. I would have been getting way more pumped about Verse. So I am kind of bummed the Rams got him.
All
What
right.
other thing about Murphy? Now, sitting here thinking about it, having him up front, soaking up blocks and that sort of thing, that's going to really help out Baker and Dotson back there at the linebacker position. You know, some guys who are a little smaller, but on the faster side of things, being able to play free and fast and make tackles, like, it makes a lot of sense.
Love it. Yeah, it's one of the 2 biggest missing pieces, I felt like, especially from the youth area. It was the biggest missing piece as far as no real youth in that area, because I'm not that stoked about Cam doing anything as a difference maker.
I agree.
Depth beats.
They really need to stop
Agreed.
showing the creepy eyes wide shut Ram on the TV.
Getting off our screens, Rams fans.
Yeah,
I have no idea what you guys are talking about, but I'm glad it's funny.
It's creepy, dude.
You don't want to
It's
see
creepy.
There they are. Bunch of pagan Californians. What do you expect? Look at them go.
I didn't want to see that. That was creepy enough. So whatever Adam's talking about, if it's the more extreme version, then no thanks.
Yeah.
Just some sheep heads or whatever, ram heads. Some
There's
dum
the
dums.
official announcement there.
The
Some
eyes were a
dum-dums.
little too realistic, Clinton. That's
I
the part
agree.
that got me. Yeah.
Yeah, it was what do they call it? The uncanny valley, right? When things are a
Yes.
little too close, but
Yes.
you know that it's still off, and it's got the big
Because
creep
there's
factor.
often bighorn sheep on the road to town when we go in, and they don't move for nobody. You got to just like putt around them, and they just give you that stink eye as you drive by, and that's That's what I was getting from that.
So whoever
So
put those
first.
masks together did a good job. Got it.
Yeah.
They captured the spirit of the animal.
Furtano's still on the board. There we go.
Yeah.
We
Not
could have
around.
traded down and got him right to where we said, Clinton, right around 20.
Well,
we could have.
Well, I hate to say that you are right. You are right. Well, there was the whole conversation that he might have a knee issue, like literally came up in the last week,
Yeah.
and that he might have a knee issue, and then like, well, would they
Like
really
an old
even
knee?
something like that? Yeah, like a legit knee, right? So like an old legit knee, but
That's funny. I like that, Kevin.
What was anybody going to trade up with us for? I mean, the big 3 receivers, all 6 quarterbacks, and the tight end, all the, the 10 guys they said someone's going to jump up and get because these are, possibly generational dudes. They were all gone. So it made it kind of sticky for me to think we could find a partner unless somebody did want
Right.
Byron Murphy. Byron Murphy would have been the big difference maker sitting there on the board for somebody. I mean, he's the one of a kind in this draft.
look, that's people seem to dig him, right? So look, UT. Hey, if we come back in the 3rd round and maybe grab Tavondre Sweat, and then we just pair Murphy with Sweat, and you go get the 360 pounder, that would get me excited. I would.
Do you not like Hankins?
I love Hankins, but I also love
Oh.
having a fresh rotation.
Gotcha.
I love having a rookie.
So somewhere Cam Young says no.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That's precisely right. But hey,
You guys see the video of the walkthrough of the VMAC that the Seahawks put out today on social media?
I did not.
That was nice.
Oh,
Sure.
yeah, they did a little walkthrough of the VMAC. They showed all the different art portraits on the walls of different highlights throughout the Seahawks history.
But that's all gone, and we don't care about the history anymore. Mike McDonald took a big piss on everybody.
Yeah, apparently there is still photographs on the walls.
What?
Of history, Seahawks history.
Yeah, but they took the basketball hoop away, and they've shredded the culture within 2 months. Brandon,
It's over.
It's over.
It's over.
I'm pretty sure the guy that's in charge.
They held extra long on the picture of the tip, which I think was maybe a nod to Richard Sherman being
maybe just a nod to Rich. Yeah, speaking out. Yeah, got it. Makes all the sense.
This is a true fact.
It was also in our Discord though, and on YouTube. So
I don't do the Discord unless it's game day.
You should do more.
Okay.
It's fun.
yeah.
All
This
right.
is
Sherm
conversation.
overreacting, Twitter overreacting, Seahawks fans overreacting.
Overreacting in a good way or a bad way?
About changing decorations at the VMAC.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Murphy. Oh, yeah.
Oh no.
No,
No, I
talk
think
about the
everybody's pretty
important
fired up
stuff.
about this except for lukewarm Clinton. And
Yep.
Yeah.
I think
Lukewarm
Clinton's
Clinton.
excited about it. He's getting there.
No, listen. Let the first preseason 3-in, 3-out come along when he's busting through the line, making a
You
play.
love
And,
the big, yeah. You like the big defensive body, Clinton. We know.
I
it.
do,
We know you're
but
gonna love him.
but I don't think he's that. Okay, he's like 6'1",
6'1".
305.
Aaron Donald size.
He's
Yeah.
Donald size.
Low
yeah.
man wins, dude.
Cortez
Yeah.
Kennedy size.
Puna Ford, who he got as undrafted free agent. So, well, we'll see. We'll see where
Also
he
from
is. And,
Texas. That's true.
yeah, also from. So we'll see.
Yeah, Clinton, you're right where I was with the JSN pick last year.
Mm,
I empathize. I get it.
It's
Charlie.
the little big guy you don't like. Let him be big or smaller and athletic like Adams, but none of this normal size DT type of thing.
6'1",
Right?
305 is not huge. It's not not that big of a dude. But he looks powerful as heck. Like he moves dudes. So look, you don't play that high level position at Texas for all those years and play well without being a very good football player. So
He's so fun to watch. I mean, have you watched like any of the U tape or any of his highlights, Clinton?
oh yeah, no, I did.
Yeah.
I just
Is he-
I like Newton better. I thought he was just a
Okay.
better defensive tackle. But hey,
All right,
the
I give
NFL
up.
The
Can't
NFL
talk to you,
disagrees. No, it's all good. Like I said, once we start rolling, look, I'm going to go to bed tonight, and I'll wake up tomorrow and I'll be pumped up that that he's our Seahawk guy. I
Just
want
dig in, write it out, be the hater of the 3, and then you can.
I don't like
of
that.
all the people that have had the worst takes tonight, it's been Clinton. So it kind of feel like it works out.
Oh, that's great. Actually, I would say that's fine. I'm not going to defend myself. I was right about the quarterbacks, and I was right about a blue chip would fall. And
I
that's
meant
our-
wide receiver takes, not all your takes.
oh, gotcha. Oh, thank you.
The quarterbacks
appreciate
went in like the exact order that was early on kind of expected. And then the second group of three kind of moved around a little bit later.
Yeah.
But right after the end of the college football season, they pretty much were in this order.
There you go,
there
Russ.
it goes.
There you go, Russ.
Yeah.
Hey, he can hang Fatanu out to dry, roll him backwards 15 times, run himself into a sack.
Yeah, Fatano,
got him.
man. Okay, is what it is. Thank you, Nate. I appreciate you. That's what I appreciate about you, Nate.
Hey, at least he'd be protecting your old quarterback. Doesn't
Yeah.
that feel at least a little better?
It does feel a little better. If I'm being honest, it does feel
Yeah.
a little better. I still got the feels for Russ. I always will.
Yeah, me too, man. I think he will play better in Pittsburgh. I do.
I think so too. He didn't play bad last year.
Right.
You know, like they were not a good team. He had 26
And he
touchdowns.
had to deal with Sean Payton.
Exactly.
being
Being
an
a jerk
a-hole.
face. Yeah. Big jerk
Former
face.
Super Bowl champion coach must have been rough.
Of all the head coaches in the NFL right now, Brandon, is Sean Payton the most hated, or is it like
Easy.
easy? Okay.
Who
All
else
right. I
would
was
there
just
be?
curious. Oh, I don't know. That's what I was asking.
Oh,
Belichick
Mike.
tied it
Oh,
down.
McCarthy. People hate. First of all, he's the worst coach in the NFL. His own team hates him. The Cowboys fans hate Mike McCarthy.
Oh.
And anybody who's watched football for the last 15 years know that the guy's a absolutely dreadful head coach.
I like
Horrible.
always having a terrible head coach, though. So that's
Well, I understand that part, but he's just
fine.
like
But I guess that works for the Broncos too. So maybe
like
that.
if you're asking if there's someone who's like known to be an asshat and be like a terrible coach that people hate, McCarthy. At least people still like
Peyton can be a good coach. He's just not a great guy.
Yeah.
And then,
Jim Harbaugh up there.
Oh, you're talking about who people don't like, or what about us? Like we tend to.
I think we're all naming coaches we dislike.
Division rival coaches. What about those?
I was gonna say McVay's got to be first on my list. Just he's so smug and his hair is so stupid. Like
he's a good coach.
I know.
I hate myself, but I dislike McVay because I know why I dislike him. Because he's been the biggest thorn in my flesh. So it's like it's nothing but respect coming from where I cheer. The reason that I dislike him, and it's really disappointing when I look myself in the mirror and know exactly why I dislike him.
Oh yeah.
What was that about DJ Moore?
Oh, just the ragged on
DJ Moore is good, so I'm glad we didn't get what he wanted.
I know folks are having their and that's great. I encourage the laughs, but if you really think DJ Moore's not a good NFL wide receiver, like a really good one,
that's not what anybody said, that he's not a good NFL wide
he's
receiver.
a really good wide receiver, man. This guy's
if he was my number one on my team, I wouldn't feel like I had a great number one. I'd feel like I got a serviceable number one.
I agree with that. I don't disagree with that.
Okay.
I'm not.
Yeah, and Ryan's right. Clinton will come around on a defensive player because he always does.
Oh, that's very, very true. Yeah. Absolutely true.
All right, gentlemen. Well, unless we really want to stick around and close out this first round, our Seahawks made their pick. They're not getting back into the first round. We've been on point here for 2.5 hours.
Nice.
It's been
nailed it. We nailed it.
We nailed it. We've nailed it so far. We're gonna nail it moving forward. And it's been a good draft so far for our Seahawks boys.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I guess with that,
there's only one thing left to say.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks. We got Murphy.
Hawks.
Go Hawks.
We got Murphy.
Murphy in the middle, baby.
The guy I wanted the most, the longest, we ended up getting him. So I'm pretty stoked.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks. Love it.